What is happening, guys? It's another bonus quarantine episode of Pass the Gravy, and I brought definitely our favorite sponsors ever. The like when I was a young lad, I grew up thinking if I could get beer to be behind me in anything I ever do in my life, I made it. And these fine folks over at Southern Star Brewing Company were like, hey, we can make that happen. It's a dream come true. I have been wanting to talk to Dave, the godfather of beer, the founder, CEO of Southern Star Brewing Company. I got Dave, I got Angel, and then we even had, they brought a musical guest with them, Winston Cook. You probably heard him if you went out to our spooktacular. I got three guys hanging out with me today. What's happening?
What's up?
What's up, man? That's like go big or go home, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Just went to the bathroom.
So yeah, this is cool. Like I feel like I've only hung out with you once, Dave, and that was like at the end of our Christmas party we kind of. I know you were a very busy guy. You're a very busy guy, so I'm glad I got to kind of tie you down for a little bit here. And,
Not so much on a Monday afternoon.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I'm guessing with everything kind of being closed, like just everything kind of going on in this world right now, I was like, what is one thing that's gonna like? It's hard to be happy for a lot of people right now with everything going on. But you know what always makes people happy is beer. And we're going to talk a little bit about beer today. And I feel like that's just going to help everybody be happy, right?
We run a fun factory.
Yeah, it really is. And it's kind of opening up now. Like how, like, obviously this whole quarantine thing where everything was shut down had to be tough. But like just slowly bringing people back in. How is that going out at the brewery now? Are you starting to see a bunch of people coming out?
Yeah, in fact, we opened up real big. What was that? 3 weekends ago? We had the Critics' Choice Crawfish Festival, and thousands of people showed up. I was like, oh no! I thought we were gonna have quarantine protesters. Just like you got social distance warriors. We didn't.
Dude, it's a weird system that they got with like first off, it was like you better never go out. Nobody can go out anywhere, and now it's like we're gonna judge people that go out. But now like. I don't know. Every time I go to the store, I feel like less and less people are wearing masks, less and less people care, and it's like I'm just ready for it to be open now. Like if everybody else is quitting caring,
I'm not a scientist, but it's over. Oh
yeah,
no!
as
first
far as
rule
I'm
of
concerned.
podcasting.
No, that adds to it. It shows that it's not pre-recorded. If it was
first rule of podcasting, I gotta turn my phone off.
All live.
Sometimes I just make Pat lay down all his lines, and then I go just add to like whatever he had already said.
I swear I'm not new.
So, Dave, you started Southern Star back in 2007, right?
Yep.
And you were at St. Arnold beforehand. Did you do Weed Whacker? Was yours?
No. I think Weed Whacker was an accident. Well, yes and no. So I didn't do it. It started out, and I'm not 100% sure that this is the official history, but it's the history as I remember it happening. In fact, this happened.
Okay.
We made a batch of lawnmower, and the lab sent us the wrong yeast, and we pitched it into it was Hefeweizen yeast. And to this day, we called up White Labs, and they were like, well, sometimes yeast mutates. And I'm like, dude, yeast doesn't mutate from Kolsch to Hefeweizen, So I'm pretty sure you screwed up. And they're like, you could tell it was like, never going to financially recover from this. So, so they're like, anyway, it tasted good. We dumped it down the drain because we couldn't sell it. But it did taste pretty good. So that was the unofficial first batch of Weed Whacker. It wasn't until I was out of there for a while until they started coming out with it. Like,
well, you were the head brewer at St. Arnold. Did you like, were there any beers that they're still making right now that you're like, that was mine? I made that.
Alyssa,
like, do you ever just buy it and you're like, yeah, motherfuckers, this is mine? Like,
no, I usually just drink my beer and go, yeah, motherfucker, this is mine. No,
I
actually,
just wonder that.
I still drink St. Arnold. I haven't had an Alyssa in a long time, but I had some art card not too long ago. You know what I had there? I forgot what Sabro Cocoa Nuts, the one that they made with Sabro hops. It was really good.
Okay. See,
Sabro
like I don't know. I always just wonder, like, I know like a lot of like guys that like when they start a brewery, they come from another brewery, and I always wonder, like, do you just go be like, if you created another beer at that brewery, are you like, I'm gonna stock up on this because this is my baby, I made this, and like, I mean, I know you're all in on everything Southern Star, but just the nostalgia of this is like the OG.
That was making the Alyssa was one of the high points of my career, and it was the beer. I mean, that was one of the first IPAs in Texas. because we were one of the only breweries in Texas at the time. But but what was super cool about it is we filled up a firkin with it, for a cask, and we carried it on the tall ship Alyssa in Galveston, which used to be, that thing probably almost definitely had casks of IPA on it 150 years ago, making that trip. So we were able to, I got to tap that cask on the Alyssa and do like a little history thing. Yeah, my inner nerd was pretty happy.
That's pretty cool. Like, I always feel like until like really we started hanging with the Cellar Star crew, like I always felt like beer brewers and like people that were really into breweries was just like I wasn't ever gonna be accepted into that. And then I went up to Cellar Star. Keith kind of was the point man with us kind of hooking up with you guys. And just like I remember like going up there and they were like, I can't remember who it was behind the bar the first day. It was just like, okay, well, what kind of beer do you like? And I was like, I don't know, like Bud Light. Like I'm not a beer guy. I love drinking beer. But like, if you were like, what's your favorite kind of hops? I would be like, I have no idea at all.
And good, you probably shouldn't.
You guys were just like, you like talk to me like you don't make me feel stupid, but like, okay, well, you like this kind of stuff. Well, here, how about try this? Try this. Oh, you like the blonde? Well, then you're also going to like this. And you guys are really good about like making me feel included and not like I'm just like I have no idea what I'm talking about. When I'm sure you guys like these idiots don't have a clue. You could have handed me anything. I'm like, good, it's great, it's the best beer.
I mean, beer's not supposed to be pretentious, man. It's the everyman's drink. It's like
it's not wine.
I mean, I like wine too, and it's kind of like wine. In fact, I think that it's more complicated than wine, but we'll let the wine people be wine people. I can say that because I'm a wine person too. And I'm an extreme beer nerd as far as knowing on that, but that's my job, man. It's like,
right.
But everybody else is like, it's beer. Don't overthink it. Just drink it. It's like, it's one of my favorite things. I forgot what David had this coaster and it just said like, just drink your beer is what the coaster said. I was like, that's beautiful.
No, it is interesting though, because it did feel like it was like an elitist group of like, or like, oh well, if you don't know about brewing, then like don't come around here. And like I've never felt like that around the Cylinder Star guys or anything like that. I mean, I've been to a couple other breweries too, and they don't really make you feel like you're on the outside if you don't know it. But like, there's nobody who ever was like appeared uppity or anything. But like, how do you like? Have you always been into brewing beer? Like when you were drinking, I guess like at high school parties and stuff, where you're like, I don't really like this. I think I could make a better kind.
I really didn't drink beer in high school. I smoked a lot of weed.
Okay. Did you ever try and like mess with that? Were you like, maybe I'm gonna be a weed guy?
No. I mean, my focus was other places mostly. It was like weed and girls, whatever. So
I get that.
But no, I didn't really start drinking beer when I moved to college. In fact, I stopped doing everything for about 2 years and got my shit straight and had to go to community college because I was kind of a fuck up in high school. Witness. So I kind of got my shit straight, kind of quit doing everything for a good long, for a while. And then went to community college and made some good grades and then transferred to A&M. But then I kind of fell apart there again. It's hard not to.
Yeah, the whole college atmosphere. Like I was on like academic probation my first semester there, and I remember my dad was like, "You're gonna get your ass back up here if you don't want to figure your shit out." And I don't know, like when you go to college, there's nothing like it when you first go up there. You're like, "This is awesome! I can do whatever I want. There's no rules, and it's easy to get swept up in that."
Yeah, no, it really is. And I wasn't too bad there either, but that's when I started kind of getting into beer. I started discovering. In fact, a friend of mine, he's actually one of the owners of the company and did he still does a lot of our IT stuff. He gave me the first like homebrew beer, the first different beer I had was one of his. And it was when I was in high school, but I was just like, oh, cool. This is different. It tastes like I remember it tasting very woody, very thick and malty. And I didn't know what that was then, but he got a job and he moved into this tiny little apartment in Virginia, right outside of DC. And he didn't have any room for his homebrew stuff. So he gave it to me and I started kind of tinkering around with it. Like right before that, one of my friends, that I went to high school with that, we're in college. And he said, hey man, they make all different kinds of beer. I was like, yeah, man, they make like Miller and Budweiser and Coors. And he was like, no, they got all kinds of different beers. And so he went to the liquor store and he bought all these import beers. And I had a Hacker Shore Dunkelweizen. It was the first beer that I had from that. And I took a drink of it. And I was like, dude, this is like banana bread and wonderful. I was like, I want all of this. I want more of this. And then I realized that they were very expensive. At that point in time, just kind of things fell right together and homebrew shop opened up. I had the equipment. So I started making beer at the house, mostly just because I'm a cheap bastard. Or I was. No, I take that back. I was a poor bastard.
There you go.
That's better.
Well, like the beer making process isn't like an easy, quick process. Like you got to like wait for it to ferment and all that stuff. Like how many just like batches of duds did you get before you finally found one? You're like, okay, we can drink this.
A lot. Now I drank them all, but I didn't start getting decent at it until probably about a year into it. So probably, I don't know, 15 batches under my belt. Then I started making stuff that I was like, oh, all right. And, and it's right now, most of it's gone now, but we had a beer called Barley Coherent that we just came out with. And that was actually my recipe for my house beer in college. And I finally got to make it here, which is pretty cool. It's just a nice brown ale,
That's awesome.
So
and one of the best cans too. One of the best cans you guys have had.
I thought I turned you off.
It's got all the late night texts and everything up there on the can for it. That was one of my favorite like can designs you guys have had.
Yeah, that one was super cool. I liked it.
But that's cool. That's a little behind the like scene. I didn't have that's a fun little fact that was like your like original home brewer. And I had a friend that like dabbled in it, and he was always like I was able to tell when my beer started getting better when I didn't have to like beg my friends to come drink my beer with me when they're like, hey man, you got another home brew? And he's like, yeah, then they'd just come over, we'd grill, and we'd hang out. And he's like, then I figured I think it's okay.
And that's kind of how I got too. When I started making beer for people, they were like, dude, why don't you make something like this? And I made it, and so that's kind of how I knew too.
Can you try like could you just go make Bud Light if you wanted to? Could you make the exact same kind of thing as Bud Light? I
could make something a lot like Bud Light, but it wouldn't be Bud Light. Just like Bud Light couldn't make Bombshell Blonde, Budweiser couldn't
right.
And Budweiser can't, even make Love Street, and they own it now. So they don't. I mean, it's like Budweiser makes Love Street at the Bud plant, and that's the ones that comes in bottles. Carbach doesn't have a bottling line, so all the Carbach you buy in bottles is made at the Bud plant, and the Love Street there, the Love Street in a bottle and a lot on draft tastes different than it does from the Carbach plant. I mean, that's not a slam. It's just different, different tank geometry, water, all kinds of. It's probably not water, but because they probably all use a reverse osmosis. But yeah, I mean, it's there's a lot of difference, brew system, all that stuff. But I could definitely taste the difference.
I feel like a lot of my questions to you are just going to be really stupid questions for like somebody of your IQ with all this stuff. Just like, I feel like I'm like the stoner. It's like, all right, dude. So like, how do I make?
Hey, that's all right. I was a stoner too, man. It's fine.
Just like it just fascinates me. Just being like, it's one of those things that I've never been able to do anything like that. So it fascinates me that you can be like, okay, I'm gonna put these hops in here and get this out of it. Like on the Ben does a great job. Ben Blair on y'all's brewery tours of just like kind of dumbing it down and just making it fun. And it's like I'm not 100% sure exactly what's going on, but he'll explain it to me if I want to. But do I want to make him explain it to me in front of 15 other people? Probably not. But like I don't know. It's a great tour if you guys ever go up to the brewery.
He'll also show you the can bidet.
Oh yeah, which is awesome. Just like
I was like, what the fuck, Ben?
So speaking of cans, you guys were the first to can craft in Texas. A lot of people don't know that. It's a very little known fact. It doesn't say it on the cans or anything. But like, what made you go away from bottles? Was it money?
No.
Is it cheaper to can things than bottle things?
No, actually, it's kind of a pain in the – well, I don't know. I mean, you don't have to buy a labeler, so you don't have to, bottles are cheaper than cans. But by the time you have a bottle and a labeler and glue and labels and all that stuff, then it's about the same price. Cans are – you have to buy a whole truckload of them. Now you can buy wrapped cans, which are a lot more expensive than bottles. So – I think it's a little bit on my scale. It's a little bit more expensive to can. I didn't really know that when I started. The whole reason I started canning is I was at the Craft Brewers Conference in Philadelphia. I don't remember when it was. It was a long time ago, 2001 maybe, 2002. It was right when people were first starting to can. And I was hanging out with the dudes that from a new brewery that just started called Surly in Minnesota. They're huge now. But they had the 16-ounce tall boy of IPA called Furious. And I cracked that can open. I took a drink. I was like, holy shit, man, IPA and a tall boy. I was like, and then I was like, if I ever do this, at that moment, I thought, if I ever do this by myself, I'm fucking canning beer, craft beer. I just thought it was so cool.
Just when you pop a top on a beer, just like there's nothing cooler than like it's time to go.
That's a pretty good sound. I mean, that's a real good sound. You don't get the same effect, opening up a bottle.
Yeah.
Maybe a champagne bottle will, but
that is true. Maybe work on one of those. I don't know.
Yeah,
you put a cork on beer?
I'll leave that to Jester King. They do that pretty well.
Okay, I didn't know. But so like I don't know. I always just thought it was cool. Like, and also just like we're in Texas where it's hot as balls all the time. We were just talking about that before we started. But like you can't go to the pool with any bottles. Like that's go away. And so like a lot of times like your buddies will bring over beer. It's like, hey, well, we can't take that to the pool, man. Like just unless you got one of your Arctic cups or whatever it is, you're gonna have to pour it in there. But like you can always take Southern Star no matter where. Like, okay, well, we got that. We're going to the river. Cool, bring it. We got cans. We're fine.
That was part of it too. That was part of it too. I mean, we're the folks that started the company, myself and the other folks were very much into doing things outdoors. Still am. Still are. It's crazy now though. It's like when we first started doing this, we had to kind of break down that barrier of that shit beer came in cans. I went into a place and I got like kicked out of places because they'd be like, we don't carry canned beer in here, and then one of them, I was like, look, there's Foster's. And he was like, well, that only comes in a can. I was like, motherfucker, ours only comes in a can. But anyway, yeah, I got kicked out of a couple of places because I have a low tolerance for idiots, but
well, you didn't need them. You didn't need them now looking back.
No, it's crazy because now hardly anybody bottles. Most everybody cans now.
That's what I was gonna say. Like especially like craft beer, it's almost exclusive. Like I mean, I know there's like some banana bread stouts and chocolate stouts you can get, but usually that's just like when you're buying it by the bottle and
right.
everything.
Yeah, people do bombers and stuff, but that's but most everybody does the cans now.
I don't know. It's pretty cool. And then like is that the we got?
Yes, it is. It's past the gravy helmet.
Past the gravy helmet.
Oh,
that's what's up. I don't know if y'all are watching the video version. Yeah, that is the Past the Gravy helmet. Shout out to Tim Kostanek for making us all of those, and for you guys for repping us in your tap room. If you go to the tap room out there at Southern Star, they got a big Past the Gravy flag and everything, kind of the same flag I got right behind me. It's pretty badass though. It's cool, and like it's funny when people that don't know that like. We hang out with you guys and stuff. They're like, dude, I went to Southern Star over the weekend and they had your podcast flag. I'm like, yeah, those are people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes like, no way. I like to just play it shocked, but it's cool though. It's cool. What is your favorite Southern Star beer? Like you're the go-to guy, right?
Generally
like,
the one in my hand. I mean, I know that's man, that's such a hard thing to say because I mean, literally it kind of is my favorite one's the one in my hand. I go through phases. I'm having an Echo and Conroe right now but we've made some fantastic beers in the past. I mean, my favorite beer I think is Bombshell Blonde because it paid for this place. I hardly ever drink it, but I mean, and I like it. It's just I drank so much of it now. I kind of go back and forth. Usually I'm drinking the ones that I know are going to go away. So like right now I'm drinking a lot of Operation Fermentation because it's about gone. It's really, really good beer. But I know that like Oktoberfest, Oktoberfest is coming out. That's probably my favorite beer that we make on a regular basis is our Oktoberfest. It's just fantastic. And it's so simple. It's such an easy, simple beer. But it's all about the process of making it that makes it so good. So I'm pretty partial to that one. And I like Hatchet too, but you can't drink more than about 3 of those. You'll fall over.
Dude, yeah, they'll mess you up, man.
Yeah, I mean, we put them in 4-packs for a purpose, for a reason.
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Those Oktoberfests are kind of that same way.
Oh yeah, those should come in 2-packs.
Dude, my friend Pat and I, my co-host, we were just hanging out one night drinking the Oktoberfest, and I was like, dude, I am fucked up. And I think I had like 3 plus a couple other beers before that. I was like, and it's just like you just don't pay attention to it, and you're like, yeah, that gets you. That'll get you there.
Oh, I know. Like a couple of weekends ago, I was out with these fellas playing disc golf, and they had 3 of them left at the pro shop. So I bought 3 Oktoberfests and then some other beers, and I started drinking other beers, and I was like, okay, I was feeling pretty good. And then I just started drinking those Oktoberfests, and I was pounding them like the other ones. And I got in the car, I was like, oh Jesus. So then we stopped and got margaritas.
Which is smart. Yeah, you gotta trick your body. Your body doesn't know.
32-ounce margaritas. Yeah, you gotta live quarantine to go.
That is true. That
cheers to responsibility. Never drink and drive.
Right, guys. We're always very responsible here. We're all very responsible. How much of the design goes like with cans? Like, because I mean, like I said earlier, you have some pretty badass looking cans. I mean, it is an election year. Bombshell 2020. That's the most important place where you go vote right now. One, are you on Team Red or Team Blue? And is that the most fun part about like getting to design the fucking cans? Because I feel like that would be pretty dope.
No, that's like my least favorite part.
Why? It's like you just show everybody how cool it is.
Because every name is taken. It's like we did Humidity. We're like, what an awesome beer name, and then we got a cease and desist letter saying, no, you got to stop this or we're gonna sue. Then we had to work it out. It was a big waste of time. But yeah, it's just I mean, it's fun to do, but yeah, there's just so many beers and there's so many names and they're all taken, and it's like we have these giant lists of names. I'm like, that one's taken, that one's taken, that one's taken, that one's taken, that one, and I was like, you can't call it that. Carbox got a beer called that, it's just like this whole list, and yeah, so you'd think it'd be fun, but it's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
As far as the Bombshell Blonde, that whole campaign pretty much fell apart with COVID-19. So now we're making nice red, white, and blue 4th of July displays with them, with Strawberry Blonde. So red, white, and blue, but that's pretty much over with. I tell you what, I was always, I like the blue, but then I saw that first pallet of red cans come off, and I was like, man, those are sexy. But
dude, they are.
They're really nice. But
I keep going back and forth. It's whichever one I'm holding in my hand. I'm like, dude, I mean, the blue is just it's timeless. It's great. And then somebody hands me a red. I'm like, I don't know, that red one. Again, sexy.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is. I would probably. I mean, the votes last time I checked were far and away blue, pro blue. So they'll go back to blue. Yeah, like I said, that campaign pretty much fell apart. Blew up in our face.
Thanks a lot, COVID.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever. It's like, No,
it's its fault. It ruined everything bad.
It did. It ruined everything. So
we'll
that, and people got all pissed off because they're like, you're getting all political. I'm like, no, I'm not. Just because, look, Republicans can drink blue can beers and Democrats can have red ones. That's not what it means. But
you're trying to bring people together.
Explain yourself. Your marketing is shitty marketing. So
so I've been dealing with I've been racing Hot Wheels in my apartment every afternoon, and I called it Alex's Race Wars about 61 days ago. Boy, oh boy, is that kind of blown up in my face lately. Oh, why'd you call it races? I called no, it was like 55 days ago I had that name. It wasn't because of anything happening. Like, oh well, it's a little insensitive. I'm like, no, it doesn't mean anything. It's Hot Wheels.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, I've gotten some hate from it, but I'm like, I feel like if you just look at it, you'll realize it's Hot Wheels and nothing else. There's nothing else.
Yeah, but yeah. So like I said, if you got to explain it, it's best to just go, you know what? I'm either going to keep this and go away or, yeah.
So you were saying all the beer names are taken. Let me just cut to the chase because I was going to beg you to, have a Pass the Gravy beer. Maybe the next one you can't think of a name.
That's probably not taken.
Good.
I would think. I don't know if that's
the most appealing
you'd be
name.
Surprised.
It's not the most like gravy and beer. I don't know how well that goes together.
I mean.
Maybe for Thanksgiving beer.
Biscuits and gravy are good, and beer's just liquid biscuits. So
it's actually a very good point.
You got to think about it that way.
Something to think of. but I had written down a list of some names just to throw out to you.
Yes. All right. I'll tell
Okay.
you if they're taken.
All right, and I'm sure at least this like Pew Pew Brew. We do the Pew Pews. That's got to be gone, right?
Probably.
I know Back Pew Brew is gone.
Yeah,
is already
no, Back
a thing.
Pew be like, hey, what the fuck, dude?
So that was gone. This is my catchphrase. I've been trying to make catch on for like 2.5 years. Hasn't worked yet. But Darling Like a Marlin Ale, maybe.
That's probably good.
Maybe. I don't know.
Probably the only way people finally get to notice that.
And then you drink it, and you're like, man, that was Darling Like a Marlin. And that's what everybody else starts saying.
You'd be surprised. It's probably taken. There's probably a trademark war going on right now.
Okay, well, Boomerang is probably taken too.
Oh, that's already taken.
Damn it. What about Lil Vice X?
No,
After Lil Nas X.
That's good.
probably not. We got Lil Cal coming out. So.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
So,
that's and then
maybe?
the last one I wrote down was Jimmy Hofbrau instead of Jimmy Hoffa.
That's fucking awesome. But that's probably taken too. I think that was on The Simpsons. It should have been.
Okay. All right. Well, so the Simpsons think of everything first. Fuck.
See?
And then if anybody wants to know, I was looking at my notes the other day and I wrote L. Ron Grubhard. So maybe that's an app.
Oh, I love it. L. Ron Grubhard.
If anybody's trying to start a food truck, there you go. I just think like my notes in my phone are just they make no sense. They make no sense.
Yeah,
'cause
no,
it's usually
that
me
makes
drunk
perfect
writing
sense.
shit down.
I'm
I
telling
mean, it
that to our
seems like a
packaging
great idea.
manager. He'd love it.
Just
L.
you-
Ron
yeah, just-
Grubhard.
Somebody use that and make something out of it. But just the next time you're thinking of a beer, like you can't think of a name of a beer, maybe Pass the Gravy Ale. I don't know. Darling Like a Marlin though, maybe something to look at. Maybe something
Maybe
to look
so.
into. Just spitball.
Lambic. The seafood lambic.
I like. I feel like hard
With extra
seltzer.
shrimp.
I feel like hard seltzer has been a very big thing. Have you noticed? Like, have you tried the hard seltzer? Is Southern Star gonna go hard seltzer at all? It's just kind of taken over. I thought it was the dumbest idea ever. It's water. Like you just
Yeah, well, turns
alcohol
out
and
people just
water.
like to get fucked up.
They do. It works.
Well, we tried to do some stuff here. Our water's not great for making hard seltzer. Mostly you have to have like super like nothing water. So reverse osmosis water. We don't have that. I know here in Conroe, Copperhead's making one called Crave, and it's super clean and good. But to me, it's like, if I'm gonna, I don't know. I want my alcohol to be enjoyable, not just for the alcohol. I want to taste, and I'm, nothing against theirs, but and I guess this is super serious hot outside. Those probably are super crushable. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've crushed plenty of Michelob Ultra Cactus and Limes.
Yeah,
And that's pretty much.
It doesn't feel like you're
seltzer.
drinking sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's hot as fuck outside, so you're just like, you can't do that with a buried hatchet, or hell, you can't even do it with our beer. But
I can do it with those strawberry bombies, dude. I can.
No, you
hammer
can
some
with that.
strawberry
Yeah, and
bombies.
Sunday Bros. So, I mean, and that's kind of what I was getting to is, our answer to those seltzers are, like Sunday Brunch, the beer that we're making, now. And it doesn't even taste like beer because it's not. I mean,
No,
it is
it's
like
awesome.
a malt beverage, but it tastes like Fanta, and it's awesome. but it tastes good. I enjoy it when I drink it. And I just don't see sitting. I mean, I never would have thought to set down and pound LaCroix. Which is pretty much, I mean, you might as well
really
just
what
pound
you're
LaCroix and take shots of Everclear because then you're going to get the same place, So, that sounds horrible, but that's what you're doing. So.
Y'all should do that. Y'all should also offer like Southern Star hard seltzer, and you really just like, all right, here's 2 shots of Everclear, go.
Yeah, go.
Here's LaCroix, 2 shots of Everclear, get there. And that's the
Probably that's
Southern
our
Star
hard seltzer. Our hard seltzer come with directions, add alcohol.
Build your own seltzer.
Build your own seltzer. There you go. A home seltzer bar.
You could set like a bar. Yeah, you could set like a mac and cheese bar or a taco bar, but no, it's a build your own seltzer bar.
That's a good idea.
Angel and Winston, what are y'all's favorite Southern Star beers?
If I had to pick one, it's kind of going away now, but it was Kolsch. But now I switched over to Subatomico, the juicy IPA.
That's going away too.
Everything's going away. What the hell?
Womp womp womp.
Well, I mean, those were, but for sure it was always before this was Pine Belt, RIP Pine Belt. But
That's coming back.
hey.
Oh, it is. That was one of y'all's first beers, right?
That was our first beer.
Oh, was it? I didn't know that. I thought Bombshell was y'all's first beer. That's
No,
cool.
Pine Belt was our first beer for almost a year.
Wow.
That was the
So
first
it was
beer
just
that-
Pine Belt was the only thing y'all were making?
16-ounce cans, man. See,
Oh, fuck.
back to
okay.
the
Okay.
Surly thing.
And so it was Pine Belt, then was it Bombshell?
It was Pine Belt, and then we put out Bombshell and Buried Hatchet almost at the same time.
Okay.
They were released within like 2 weeks of each other.
So like how do you tell like when when you like I'm gonna make another beer, like let's just add one more, like how do you determine like now's the time to try another one? Is it just kind of you're just experimenting around, like this tastes pretty good, let's make it for the
Now,
masses?
yeah, now it's crazy. Now it's much more business than that. It's like we need another beer for our portfolio. Here's what we're lacking. It's kind of let's try to make this, or this is a new style that's coming out. We think we should make this. But back when we were just when I didn't really know what I was doing, it was like, Bombshell Blonde was an accident. We made that. We were making it for Tommy Bahamas as a contract, not even a contract beer. We were just making it for them. That was our only person that was selling it. And everybody was like, hey, man, we want that blonde ale too. And I was like, really? Okay. And we started giving to it. And then we started canning it and it just blew up. Buried Hatchet, I wanted a stout that I like to drink, so that one was deliberately designed for me. So I did that. That was my fault. I did the Bombshell too, but it's like it's a long story, but we were making that for Tommy Bahamas, and like I said, it just kind of blew up. And I'm glad that it happened, And then we thought after that, we were like, hey, we need some seasonal beers, so let's start doing this. Hey, you know what? We need an IPA, so we'll do this, And now our two beers that are coming out this year, our Sunday brunch in cans, our Sunday brunch, and then a low-cal IPA. Because that's kind of the new thing that's going right now, and we just decided, hey, let's make this beer as badass as we can, and I'm really looking forward to coming out with it because it's the best one it's one of the best ones that I've tasted. So it's and that's all Taylor, our head brewer Taylor. He just nailed that thing. We pulled all the stops, and it's delicious. And it's like, I've got the lab work back on it, but I think it's probably going to be like 95 calories. It's nothing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like 95. I don't know how many grams of carbs, but I've got that coming too. I sent it off to the lab to have it analyzed. So it's probably, I don't know, I had to guess 95 calories, maybe 4 grams of carbs. It's going to be like next to nothing. And it's fantastic. So what's up, Hector?
Hola. What's going on, man? Is it going to be in one of those little the skinny cans? I feel like those are very big right now with everything that's light.
Yeah, and we looked at that actually, but our canning line won't work with those little skinny cans. So we're still pretty poor. I was going to say cheap, but poor.
I feel like a regular can feels cooler to hold regardless. And now
I
they're
think
having to
so
get new
too.
koozies and whatnot. But like, I don't know.
Skinny cans are for like coffee and shit.
Yeah, or Red Bulls or whatnot. Yeah, they're for energy drinks mostly.
Yeah.
And then like, you hold a White Claw and it, like, I don't want to put genders on anything, but it's kind of girly to hold a little skinny can sometimes. You kind of feel.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
We don't mean it, guys. We don't mean it. I'm just saying,
I
the
mean
old
it. I'm
lingo
glad you
that people
said it,
used to say.
No, I always give my packaging manager shit because he drinks Trulies, and I'm like, I'm always like, it's your fault
not
that this
knocking
is happening.
Trulies or anything, because like you were saying, you can crush 60 of them and not feel like you did anything, but yeah, it's not as cool as holding a regular can.
Yes, he definitely drinks those.
I'll continue to call him out until he stops. I told him one time, I was like, you're the reason we're going to go out of business. You're drinking Trulies. Trying to shame doesn't work,
Yeah. What is the like how many beers do you think you have that you've you could maybe you're not going to can them, but you've got ready to go that you could make right now that haven't been released by Southern Star? Do you have any beers just on hold that you're just waiting for the right time, like James Cameron in it? You're I'm just waiting for the technology for Avatar here real fast. Or you're just sitting on them. How many do you think you have unreleased? Maybe you've made a couple home batches or whatever.
15-ish.
Oh, wow. That's what's up. I always think that just blows my mind because I know you guys have so many things going on in your mind. It's like with musicians and stuff where you're like, oh, well, Prince died, but he had 4,000 songs that he never put out. You're like, what the fuck? We didn't hear any of that. And that was just, we saw this much of his catalog. Winston Cook probably has 1 billion songs we haven't heard yet.
He does. I've heard them all. I'm just
exactly. That's exactly how many he has.
He took Prince's songs.
Prince released some songs from the vault, actually.
That's pretty
Some
cool.
of them are interesting. Experimental.
Well, it's also weird when like musicians do it too, because like I know that Chester Bennington passed away a couple of years ago, and they just were like, "Well, we found his high school band's thing," and they like kind of mixed it up, and it's like, but that wasn't at all how it sounded. You went and you put it in a studio with somebody that knew Chester, and you added his vocal. It was like that probably sounded like shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Chester was probably awesome, but the rest of the band probably wasn't that great because they're not doing anything else. And it's like, it's easy when you go look at like that Tupac and Biggie song right after I think Tupac died, that they put that "Dying to Live" or whatever. It's like that's not how they would have made that song. I don't think that's how somebody else went back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I agree with that though. It's like, just because I mean, a lot of songs are written on an acoustic guitar, and then you put the whole arrangement back behind them. They're not different, but they've got so much more to them. But bass songs are, the bass of a song is a lot of times just written with basic chords on an acoustic guitar, and then they get added. And especially like the Beatles and shit, where they had the Phil Spector wall of sound stuff, where they go in and they make it into a giant production. You strip all that away. And the Sgt. Pepper's probably would sound pretty lame. You strip all that away. So,
dude, Sgt. Pepper would not be anything like that. It would
no,
none of that.
No.
I mean, that is cool. That is cool. So I was texting with Keith beforehand, and he told me you were a big D&D guy. So I was thinking, we've done some drunk podcasts before. Can we just do one where we play Dungeons and Dragons, record all of us doing that, and then just release that as this?
Do you play Dungeons and Dragons?
No, but I watch Stranger Things, and it seems like it's fun.
Okay. We're actually playing tonight, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long does an average game go?
An average game, we played the one that I was dungeon mastering last year, lasted all year.
Oh, so it's just you pick up where you left off?
Yeah, you picked up where you left off. No, we finally finished, or we almost finished, and then we said, fuck this game. We quit playing it like right at the very end. It was pretty dumb.
Does everybody just at any point just like, are you like, fuck these guys, I'm killing everybody?
You can do that. Yeah, you can do that. I have a feeling that might happen tonight because we just like because my packaging manager is the DM and we all just pester the shit out of him, and I'm just waiting for him to kill us all.
No, Dungeon Master is the guy that's like you're not playing, but you're
the guy in control. You're the guy telling the story.
Roll this many on your 95-sided die, and then I'll tell you if the dragon's coming after you or the goblin's gonna get you. Like,
see,
you have to pay
you
that
know
guy.
how to play.
See, yeah, Stranger Things taught me enough. Well, I remember like in school, it always seemed like super nerdy, and then I don't know, you kind of have somebody explain like that sounds badass. It's like a video game, but without having to play a video game.
It's pretty cool, especially with beer and whiskey.
Yeah, and you can get fucked up while you're doing it too.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of fun. We do it here in the tap room.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We should just record a podcast. We'll do that. We can take however long it takes us to finish it, and I'll just release it in segments. Like every Friday, it'll be the D&D episode.
So my brother and me, I don't know if you know that podcast. They did that. They call it the Adventure Zone. So it's like they just play D&D and record it.
There goes that idea. Fuck.
No, those guys are fucking hilarious too, though. So it's like,
right, they're way funnier than me, so it wouldn't be anywhere near as good.
See, even podcast themes are taken.
Right.
Actually, I think there's one called Drunken Dragons too, to where that's what they do is they just get hammered and play D&D.
That's crazy. So are there like 100,000 different storylines, or if you're the dungeon master, you just get to make it up as you go?
You can do a lot of different things. They sell like pre put together adventures and like these books that you can buy, and you can run what's called a module. You can run through those. I'm old school, so I've been a nerd since I was little. So you can do that, or you can just I play with people that just wing it and make it up as they go along, and they don't have any prep. And sometimes those are the best.
Is there a board like a
no,
like on Monopoly? There's not a
all in your mind.
You're not using pieces. Okay.
Nope. I mean, you can use like a map or a grid to kind of supplement, like, hey, you're over here and this is what it looks like. But I didn't even start using those until just recently that we started playing. And then again, I took I didn't play D&D for like 20 years. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a big Lord of the Rings fan?
Yeah, but I was like, I'm like a hipster Lord of the Rings fan. I was a fan like when it was just the books. And now it's like so popular. I'm like, they took away my coolness, man. So it's like
I've seen the first movie and I said, fuck that movie, because they got up to a mountain and it ended. And I was like, I just wasted 4 hours of my life watching you guys walk to a fucking
well, you could waste another 16 hours of your life.
I'm not doing it. I quit. I was like, I'm out.
Well,
I'm out.
read the book. They're like this thick,
Right, but if you read a book, like, you can keep going, I heard somebody was like, well, the book ends just kind of like the movie. I was like, yeah, but you had a billion other books.
3.
Well, it felt like it was page-wise, it felt like a billion.
But yeah,
Just
it was a
looking
billion.
at it from the
and there was
outside.
supplements. You had The Hobbit. You had Tom Bombadil. You had all kinds of good stuff.
I don't really read other than like gambling books. Like, that's pretty much like how I can cheat at horse racing or whatever and figure out how to get better. But like, other than that, like, I'm bad. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I like to read the Wikipedia synopsis of movies instead. I read the book instead of watching the movie. That's a little life hack for all you guys out there.
Not dumb. That's smart is what that sounds like. It sounds like that's smart.
So like when like the Oscars comes out, you go just read the Wikipedia synopsises of all the movies. Like, well, actually, let me tell you about 12 Years a Slave, because I thought the cinematography that was done by Benicio del Toro over there was actually, and they're like, how do you know all of this stuff? I'm like, oh, I watched it. I'm a filmographer.
Yeah. See, I'm the complete opposite. I don't watch TV or movies very much. So I'm like, I'll watch like, my wife will have like on Entertainment Tonight. I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know who the fuck that is. Who the hell is this? So it's like, and you know what? Like social media, I like it. It's like, I like not knowing all that shit.
That's funny.
I'm like this close away from being a hermit, just go live in a cave someplace and make beer. And grow
Yeah, that
weed.
is fun. Before we started, I think it was
California
before we
is
started.
legal.
It is legal in California, Colorado.
It's
too,
legal, it's legal in Louisiana too. We're really close. I don't think there's any caves in Louisiana though.
I mean, there might be. I don't know. Geology. We can't rule it out. Let's say that.
Okay, let's not rule it out. Yeah,
Tigers have caves, right? There's tigers in Louisiana.
that's true. There's tigers in Louisiana.
There's a tiger in Louisiana that I know of.
Gotta
There's
be at
probably a
least
couple
one.
of zoos. Right? I mean, I feel like Joe Exotic seems like he's been through Louisiana at some point. There's definitely been more than that amount of tigers in Louisiana.
And I have seen
I still
that.
haven't seen
So yeah, I do watch some TV. Just like yes, it's like some people read a little bit. I watch a little bit of TV. So.
What are you reading right now? What book are you reading?
I'm reading a biography of Andrew Jackson called American Lion. It's really boring, but it's very
Sounds tight. It's a lion though.
enlightening.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. It's pretty interesting.
I mean, he did invent the $20 bill.
Yeah.
Huge fan of the $20 bill.
Yeah, I'm a huge
myself.
fan of the Jacksons. He was great grandfather of Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah, really, very interesting. We're all learning a lot today on this podcast.
Yeah. He's got.
I always like that
after him.
I always like doing that with anytime it's like, oh yeah, Abraham Lincoln, yeah, the inventor of the penny and the $5 bill. I'll be like, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He made those logs.
Mm-hmm. He that's how he built his first house.
Yeah.
People forget that.
Took me a second.
I'm bouncing all over the place with you. No, this is funny. This is fun. This is how most of my podcasts normally go anyway. So I'm just happy that you guys are on the same level as me too, where we're bouncing around. Like my producer always is like, dude, fucking let's get out of this. Y'all are talking. Like we
still rolling.
We go off on tangents talking about, well, that's not a quarterback name. Like that doesn't sound like Jimmy Garoppolo is a quarterback's name. Dak Prescott doesn't sound like a quarterback. And it's like, you were just talking about whether their names sound like they play a position. I'm like, yeah, we did
Prescott
that for 45
sounds like
minutes.
a business mogul.
Yeah, he sounds like he's going to fuck you over out of his, like,
Yeah.
get his head fine. Like,
hey,
he's just
man,
going to.
that guy just stole all my shit in court.
And we're hoping he steals all the Cowboys' money and locks them up in contractual obligations for a long time. Without
there you go.
That's
I know enough about sports to know that guy's a football player.
You went to A&M. Are you like a diehard Aggie football? Like,
Kind of. Although
you don't gig them.
Oh yeah, no, I watch. I dabble in.
You whoop.
in Aggie football, for sure.
How many whoops per game you think?
Okay, there you go. Yeah, just did.
Do you kiss the wife every time they score?
Yeah.
You gotta, and then you
She's
swing
Aggie
back and
too.
forth.
So yeah.
I went to Sam, so we didn't really have like tradition or anything like that. We were like, cool, we're not a junior college.
Yeah, see. I like Sam. Sam's a cool school.
Sam's fun. Yeah, nobody takes you too seriously. So like, I always like the like. I do feel like if you go to A&M, you have an expectation like you're supposed to be like learned, intelligent.
I am
you gotta have
not
a cool
any
ring.
of that. I'm like, people are like, "You're an Aggie." I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been asked that question just like that. You're an Aggie?
Do you have the ring on? Do you have the ring?
No, I'm too fat.
Whoa, dude. Yeah, I don't think you're a real Aggie then, man. You got to have that ring everywhere with you.
I got a tattoo, but it's really faded.
Okay, the tattatu counts though.
You can hardly see it. Tattoo
But if
counts?
it's on forever, yeah, tattoo counts.
It's on forever.
Because like I had friends get like the Sam Houston like class ring, and I was like, why?
Yeah, the Aggie one's good for business. The Sam Houston one, everybody's like, "Is that an Aggie ring?" Nope.
No, it's 100% because it's like
I
it's
do that like,
gold.
for everybody. I'm like, "Is that it?" Oh no, it's not.
And then like you just get, no, it's Sam Houston.
Yeah, or no, it's so and so and so and so. Although
But
I
like,
did somebody where they were from, like, is it like Auburn or something? They got a ring just like that. Maybe it's Auburn. It's someplace like in South Carolina-ish, that up that area. I was like, "Is that an Aggie ring?" Like, "Fuck you!" I was like, "Ooh, man." Apparently, they all wear their rings too.
that's like Aggie calling cards are always like, oh, the ring, okay, cool. But like, yeah, Sam Houston never had any. We had Dan Rather at one point. That was cool.
Dan Rather, yeah,
he was all right for a little bit,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then I guess he pissed some people off. I think he reported wrong. I don't know. Yeah, I learned in the Dan Rather building. I thought that was cool.
That is pretty cool.
If I'm ever really rich, I just want to like buy a building on a campus and just go hang out at that. And like, that's me. Send him new pictures of me, just paintings of me, like an old general in a war. But like every couple of months, just get a new one made. And like, no, just put that. No, I want them all lined up along the thing. Oh, I got a new one. Here's a Christmas present for everybody. Like, you're not donating any more money. No, just paint.
This one's nude me painting again.
This is one I made myself.
Yeah, self-portrait, right?
Do you want to get a little weird with us and do some segments?
Sure.
Let me talk to Winston a little bit about his album, because we're gonna play. You're gonna play your song on the way out, but you got the new album you just put out now. Winston played at our Christmas Spooktacular in December. Absolutely crushed it. That was the first time I got to see Winston live.
We're gonna trade, so
okay.
Up front and center.
But you got the new album, Crowd Pleaser. It's out now. And
yes.
I was kind of talking to you before we started the recording. Like, you kind of got a little bit of a bad boy title with you now, because in one of the songs, it's got that explicit marker on it because he curses.
And they put it as explicit.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. The E doesn't stand for explicit. It stands for edgy. That's what it's about.
That's what I like. It's
That's what it's
super
about.
edgy.
It's
Yeah.
edgy.
Super edgy.
It's edgy shit, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like, is it like, I always wonder, like, because you're fairly young, but like when you put like an explicit title on a song, do you like, hey mom, just I want to let you know, I say shit in this song?
I honestly, I was a little worried that they were gonna say something like, "Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea," but I just kind of did it without them knowing. Like, I think like my dad like heard the song when it was like getting made, and he was like, when you say shit, they're gonna have to put like an explicit warning on there. I was like, yeah, I know. And he's like, okay, all right, well, it's already recorded, so we're just gonna roll with it. But I won't lie, I was at 23 years old. I was still a little nervous to like put it out there, but knowing that my parents were gonna see it. So yeah.
I remember doing the podcast that like my parents don't really listen to, because it's good. It's good that they don't listen to it. But like, just like I curse way too much on this for like and like I've gotten past that level with my parents, like where I'm like, my dad's always like, stop saying fuck in front of your mom. Like, you're right, I should probably stop.
Right,
but
right.
I'm not going to.
I'm saying fuck in front of your mom.
He'll do that like right. I'm like, I don't know, fucking knows. Like, stop saying that. Okay, but like I don't know. It's always weird where you're just like, at a certain point you get to that age and you're like, my parents don't really care if I cuss. I guess I don't know. It is,
yeah, it
and like
just happens.
when you're doing that as like music or some sort of performing thing, like it's always interesting to see like, do your parents care? Because some people's parents are always cursing around them, so they don't really give a shit anyways. But then other times it's like, I don't know. My parents were not very like, they didn't like us cursing around them when I was growing up. So like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, same here. I think they're cool with it now for the most part. But yeah, as growing up, it was pretty strict on the cursing.
They can't really ground you
from
now.
The kids, at least.
So now my kids, one of them thinks his name is God damn it.
So
God damn
talk to
it.
us about the new album. Like how long has that been in the works? You had, I mean, you kind of had some singles and everything out like that, but how long
Yeah.
did the whole process of putting the album together go?
So I started in February, recording it, and then it got wrapped up around May. So February to May was like the entirety of it. It happened like the coronavirus hit like right during like the recording process. So that was a little tough to kind of maneuver around that and do it safely and all that. But yeah, that's February to May was how long it took. Yeah, so it's, I mean, until now, it's been the biggest project that I've done in one stint,
Do you feel like the coronavirus helped at all? Like, was there anything that maybe you weren't able to finish and like you were able to kind of sit on it and think of something else that you're
Yeah.
like, oh, what if I threw this in there instead?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's weird looking back, like some of the songs that I wrote for the album, they didn't have anything to do with like quarantine or anything like that. But in one of the songs, actually it's Amber Hayes, I say like hidden in isolation. I
It
didn't,
says shit in.
yeah.
That
And
is-
I
that is-
didn't, that's the one I say shit in. Yeah. I didn't write that to have anything to do with the quarantine, but like it can't like whenever the quarantine happened and I heard it in the song, I was like, oh, I guess that kind of works, So I'm sure when people heard it, they might've been thinking that. So there are a lot of happy accidents that happened, but yeah, it definitely gave me some time to sit back and think. And cause you're always trying to think when you're recording, like you're always trying to think about what you can add, what you can like fix, what you can tweak to make it sound good. Cause once it's done, So it did help a lot. Gave me some time to think for sure.
Do you like whenever I hate the sound of my own voice and working in radio and then like doing a podcast where I have to do a lot of the editing and whatnot in it. Like,
Yeah.
I absolutely despise that part of it. Like, do you,
Right.
like every time I hear myself talk, I'm like, you sound like such an idiot. Why'd you say things like is that the hardest part about like working on an album where you have to go back and be like, okay, let me go tweak this. Like
Yeah, I would say it's tough when it's just like the bare vocals. Like when I record vocals, usually the only thing that's playing is like my guitar, like like an acoustic guitar. So there's no like there's no bass, there's no drums, there's no like if there's like a synth sound or like a piano sound, there's nothing in there. That's probably the hardest part because you literally just hear like just your vocals and the guitar, and it's like you hear like every little tiny thing that's wrong with them. And yeah, it is kind of like hearing yourself on video because you're like, oh God, is that what I sound like? But the more I sing and stuff, I get more comfortable with my voice. It's less about like how it sounds and more of like how I can make it sound. So I'm more looking at like how I can make it sound and how I can make it sound good. So as long as I'm immersed in like thinking about it and like technically in like technical terms, as far as like singing, it's better. But yeah, I definitely have times where I look back and I'm like, oh my God, that's what I sound like. That's my voice.
But he sounds really
That's
good.
what I'm putting out to
You do
the
sound really
world.
good, yeah.
Sounds really
Right, I don't
good.
know. He knows. But I mean,
No, it's a
he
weird-
really knows now.
It's a weird thing. I think it's weird. I think it's weird for any person. It's like, I don't know. It's
you're
like
always
seeing
your
like,
biggest critic, so
Right.
when you
Yeah,
listen
it's like,
back to that stuff.
yeah. It's like seeing like someone like took a picture of you and you didn't know like you were getting your picture taken. You're like, oh my God, I slouch. Like, you're like, yeah, it's
Oops.
like, I need
Hope
it.
your parents
Yeah.
aren't listening to this. Sorry, Winston.
It's
Sorry,
like,
Dad.
no, yeah, they're
We'll
gonna
cut that part.
listen.
Oh no.
They're gonna listen for sure. But it's cool. They're cool.
You're pretty cool.
All right.
Sorry.
Just be cool, Mom and Dad. Just be cool. Do you have like we had Hold on Hollywood and Ian from Hold on Hollywood on my podcast not too long ago, and I was talking about like isolated harmonies because I always think it's like
Yeah.
is that like one of the most awkward things when you're recording like harmonies on top of your own, like where you got
Oh, it's the worst, dude. It
like-
is so bad. That's the one thing that makes me cringe, honestly, because like when like we're editing the song and stuff, like the sound engineer, he has to listen to it, obviously, to like like look, see if it fits and has to like tweak it and stuff. But when he plays that, it's just like, and he plays it on repeat, so it's just like it's like 20 times of just like like it's just like
Yeah.
it's the worst thing in the world, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, dude, I can't even like listen to this. I have to go to the bathroom a bunch to like get away from it. It's just, that is the worst, I will say. Isolated harmonies are bad.
Like, I've always thought it'd be funny to have like just a YouTube channel of just isolated harmonies only of just every band ever. Like just because it's always got to be like that's always just seemed like it would be awkward. Just all right now, like do you line them all down? Like do you just do it all at once and then he just picks the right ones, or like then he'll be like, all right, go try it like this, go do this. Like I don't know.
No, I mean it's
I've
pretty
never
much
recorded an album, so this blows my mind sort of.
Yeah, no, I pretty much just like we use a lot of takes, like a lot of different takes, and then I go back and we listen to all of them, and I kind of pick and choose like which ones I thought sounded the best, and you kind of mix them together and make the best take. That's really what that's what any music is really. It's just a lot of takes all meshed into the best take, or the best take that was possible to be made. So that's what I do. Usually doing like harmonies and stuff like that. Just a lot of takes and a lot of singling ones out and finding how I wanted to sound.
So over the pandemic, I know you played a show, a virtual show at Southern Star.
Yeah, I did.
Did you do a couple of them?
I did one at my house and one here.
Okay.
Yeah, I did 2 of them.
Like, I mean, obviously that's nothing like playing in front of people, but like, does it feel more like you're just, yeah, like, cause I was talking to my buddy that does, he's a comedian, and I was like, he was talking about doing like, they do like Zoom comedy, and I'm like, that kind of fucking sucks, cause everybody you're trying out like jokes on, it's like, okay, cool, and nobody's laughing, or you just get the canned laughter from the 3 people that were gonna laugh at everything anyways. So you can't really test it out.
It is, yeah. It's not great. I was more nervous doing that than anything else, because like you gotta like make sure the video doesn't mess up, and you know people are like commenting as you're like singing. So if they comment something funny, like I start laughing as I'm singing, and it's like it fucks the whole thing up.
Yeah, I tried to be as hyped. I tried helping. But
yeah, no,
it's
great. I love the support. I really do. But some of the stuff that's said, like I was playing one song, I think I was playing like a Mario song or something, and it's a cover, but my friend came into the group chat, and he was like just like typing like in all caps. He's like, man, this is some baby making music, and like he was just like just embarrassing me, and I kept on reading it as I was singing. I had to like, oh my god, it was bad. I kept on like stopping and laughing, so it's tough. I think a lot of musicians who did that were kind of like, okay, this is very different, because you're right, you don't like, there's no like reaction. You're like in your house, and you play that last note, and there's nothing else. It's just silence.
If you're doing well, if you're in front of people, they clap. They give you kind of, oh, they're enjoying this. This seems like it's going well, and just, oh, nobody's clapping.
And you can make eye contact. Like I was alone in my house. Like I told my parents, I was like, y'all gotta go. Like we make sure the dogs aren't around because they bark too much. And
Winston, what are you doing in
there?
there?
You could sing harmonies.
It's just me on my own, man. It was cool. It was a fun time, I guess.
When you're in like when you first started performing and stuff, did you ever just like focus on one person specifically? Like, would you like? I always feel like in the beginning, sometimes you can see when I went to college, we'd have like open mic nights at one of the bars, and it was funny. Like you'd see like the people that like it was their first couple of times trying it, and like they'd kind of like, if they had their friend that came there, it was like they're just gonna stare. I'm gonna stare at you. You're gonna be my beacon of hope the whole night. I'm gonna look at you right here. You better not go pee, because I'm staring at you, and so you gotta be my light. Like,
that's it's actually a great tactic to use. I mean, especially like if you're at a gig and like people are kind of just like, they're eating and they're with their families and they're not really paying attention to the music, but you can find that one person who's like just like wide eyed, just like looking. You're like, okay, I'm playing to you tonight.
But number one fan.
Yeah, usually the bartenders are actually the best. Anytime I play in a bar, bartenders are the best. Of like they're working, but they love to listen usually, and they're always like looking when I'm playing. So I usually lock in on the bartenders, or that one person in the back, or Angel. Or Angel. He's the best one to lock onto because he sings with me. So it's like, we have like a connection, man.
And Angel's got those eyes. You just get lost in those eyes sometimes.
Yeah.
A gaze.
That's what the second album, Lost in Angel's Eyes.
That's
a good one.
That's a good one.
Ooh, do it.
Write that down. That's a good one.
But then you have to serenade Angel the first time you play it live.
That's a good one. Oh, yeah.
What'd you say, Alex?
They won't even know it's about a guy.
We're all loud over
Yeah,
here.
you have to serenade him though the first time you do it live though. Just like, I'd like to dedicate this to Angel.
Yeah,
he does
we're getting weird. We're getting weird for everyone. I did throw his name in a song one time.
Yeah,
like when I was singing it live, and I just like kind of dubbed it in.
Yeah.
Do you ever like? You should just start. I always thought it'd be funny to just start throwing in curse words of songs, like just like fucking, just throw fuckings in everywhere on the song. And just like now it's you're already a bad boy now. You're already edgy.
Right.
Just edge it up a little bit more,
Yeah, I've started to cover a few songs that start to get a little edgy and whatnot. So I'm cool with it. The best part is when you do that, like, and like people didn't hear it, either because like the mic, like either because like the mic is muffled or it's just a loud environment in general. That's the best time, because there's one person that can hear it but no one else hears it. It's kind of funny. It's like you slip in the F word.
How often do you play the Kermit the Frog song?
Oh gosh,
I've heard you.
That was one of the highlights of the
I do it
spectacular when you played that.
I try to do
great.
it. I try to keep it to a minimum. it's usually if people know about it, it's usually bad because they're like, do it. And then I'm finally like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And then you just, yeah, it's like, so if people know about it, I usually end up doing it. I would say I could probably count on like two hands the amount of times I've done it though. I'm trying to keep it to a minimum.
At first he did it like as a surprise. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, this is the best thing ever. But then ever since then, like, do it.
Yeah,
do it, you
I
should
shot
do it.
myself in the foot on that one
So,
for
yeah,
sure.
But, I mean,
Dude, you gotta give the people what they want, man.
it's memorable.
I know.
You do your Neil Young covers and just put the capo on your nose. I've done that before.
Have you? That hurt. The capo's like,
Yeah, no,
that hurts.
Pretty good.
It's tight. Those are
You
tight.
Yeah.
have Neil Young sound for damn sure.
Have you ever forgotten the words of a song you were playing?
yeah. The bad thing is they're usually my songs that I forget the words to. Like I know all
You
the
just hum
covers.
through it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I usually just stop and I just keep like playing guitar, and then until I remember it, you know, I kind of like improv on the guitar a little bit. It's nothing
Okay.
crazy, but I try to play it off. But I mean, there have been times where like I just miss the words completely, and I'm just kind of like, you know, just kind of like get in the mic and start mumbling, man. And the thing is, people usually don't notice, so that's a good thing. But it's definitely happened before. But like I said, it's always like it's usually on my songs, which that's my bad. I need to practice them more.
Have you seen the Justin Bieber video where I think it was Despacito or whatever, and he like didn't know the words to it because it wasn't his part, and then he just kind of like
saw that.
dances awkwardly?
I saw that. Yeah, it's honestly.
It happens to everybody, I guess.
Yeah, but at that level, I
awkward
think
in
that's
front of
just a
all those people.
nightmare.
We'll give
Yeah.
him leeway. It was language for Justin. We'll give him leeway.
That's even scarier because that's not even like his like native language. So that's even scarier.
Yeah.
Because if I had to like sing in Spanish, if I had to make something up because I like forgot the words, I wouldn't even know where to start. You know, it'd be awful. I know.
Mi gata el gato en mi pantalones. I know that.
Yeah.
And then like several other things from like every like drug show I've ever watched where they speak like they're talking about drug like that
Right.
Narcos. That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much it. Breaking
Yeah, I mean,
Bad, I know, but it's
Yep.
usually just drug talk, so it probably wouldn't
Always
translate
drug
very
talk.
well at a concert.
Yeah, me and my dad watched Narcos, and he claims that it's really starting to grow on him. Like he's starting to understand Spanish.
I know Mota.
like- I don't.
It's better
It's
than
like-
Rosetta Stone.
It's like I don't know about that, man.
It's coca.
I mean, maybe if you want to be a coke dealer.
Exactly. We're on the same page.
Yeah,
No, dude.
that's scary.
All right, but it's Crowd Pleaser, the new album out everywhere now. Do you have like I always wonder, is there a specific place that you prefer? Like what gets you the most money on the streams or whatever? I guess you can buy the album. That would probably be the best way to do it.
Yeah, you can buy the album on iTunes. I mean, I think my preference, I like looking at Spotify, like looking at the streams on Spotify, because it kind of gives you like the whole like, you know, all the streams and like how many people have listened today and things like that. So it gives you more like analytics. So I prefer Spotify, you know.
No, so everybody
little-
listening right now, make
streaming,
sure
yeah.
you listen to Crowd Pleaser on Spotify. When you go to bed tonight, put it on repeat the album, fade it all the way down, then just sleep. Just sleep.
just sleep
It
through it.
streams
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah,
It's streams
actually-
nonstop.
Just keep that. Yeah, just keep it going. It's cool. Yeah.
And maybe even go to work. Just keep it streaming. Just keep it streaming because we gotta get those streams up. And then you'll be like, I was part of the crew.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No.
If you're not gonna be on your computer, just let it stream.
Yep. I appreciate the streams. Yeah. So do that as much as possible to everyone out there. And also Angel took the picture for the album cover. I don't know. That's a little known fact, but
Yeah,
Oh.
I like to boast about it.
yeah, he took the album picture. So we collaborated for sure.
That is a pretty cool album cover, though. It is a
Thank
pretty
you.
cool album cover. And then I guess I was gonna like, do you have any gigs coming up? Are they
Yeah,
gigs are kind of starting up again?
Yeah, that's the problem. It's just it's slow moving. I got a couple in July, early July, at a place called Desert Door, which is in Driftwood, Texas. So I got a couple gigs out there, and I got some just coming up like kind of sparsely throughout the year. It'll pick up eventually. It's just places are starting to open up and they're starting to like do music again. So it's slow moving, but it'll start coming up pretty soon.
Are places like reaching out to you now, or like I was just curious to like, I know like all the bars and stuff opening up. Like My
Yeah.
friend was at 6th Street last weekend, and she said that like she heard like two, like she said, I heard drums coming from one place, and I heard a guitar, and like when we were
Yeah.
past another, but she was like, there was no live music or anything like that. And I think like there was nobody that was really going out. It's very sparse when you do go out. Like,
Right.
I think like it's interesting just to see, like, I thought bars and restaurants would be like, hey, no, we need live music to kind of try and bill it as like, come on out,
Right,
check
yeah.
this out. But I feel like that's not happening as much as I thought it would.
I think it's tough for them too because they lost money being closed
Yeah.
down. So I think they're like maybe they don't feel like they can pay the musicians. But
Shit, right now musicians probably work for tips.
yeah, it's
Right. Yeah.
everyone's hurting for sure. Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I mostly like I've had a few of them reach out, but it's kind of been a guessing game. And like I've just been kind of reaching out to venues that might be open. You know, just saying like, hey, are y'all open? Are y'all down to have live music? And so it's been a little bit of both. I have had some reach out to me though, which has been great. So it's all slow moving. Everyone's getting back on their feet, I guess.
What is the weirdest gig you've ever had? Like did you ever have you ever played like a weird dive bar that like there was like a guy with like a patch and one leg that like I don't know. I always feel like when people are starting out, there's like always that like weird bar story that they got. Like I didn't expect this. There was a fight. This guy was throwing stuff at us on stage. Like I
had one gig. I think it was right before quarantine happened actually. But I mean, it was the typical like, you know, late night gig and a bunch of intoxicated people came in and were just kind of being really loud and stuff. But then they started like getting up on the stage with me and like taking pictures like while I'm playing. And they're like, you know, they're like, oh shit. Like they're just like in the back, just like taking pictures on the stage. And I'm sitting there just trying to play through the song and trying to like stay serious. And, you know, I'm like kind of turning around like this, make sure they're not messing with me or anything. And I mean, that was a pretty weird gig. I mean, it's just a lot to deal with, especially at midnight. You're like, oh my God, I just want to go home. And then they're just like, you know, taking pictures, going nuts behind me. And then this one woman, she kept on like, she was doing like, woo, but she was like loud, like really, really loud. But she'd do it like at the most inopportune times in the song. And it like scared the shit out of me. Like I'd be playing like really soft, like up on the mic, like playing really soft. And she's just like, woo. And I'm just like, oh shit. Like it's awful, dude. It was just, that was a weird gig, you know.
Did they request Freebird? They had to request Freebird, right?
Oh yeah, Freebird's always one. I get Eagles requests mostly. Freebird and Eagles, and I made it my goal to never play an Eagles song for anyone because I just get requests all the time. Yeah, because
I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Yeah, like it's always the Eagles or you know play Freebird. It's like oh fuck you. Like I'm not doing that.
I just love that that's still a thing that people yell like, dude, that's hilarious. Still killed it. Only the millionth time anybody's ever heard that.
I know it's
like the golf guy, like the second they tee off on the PGA, it's like, get in the hole. It's like, dude, crushed it again. Nobody thought about that one, man.
It's just overdone. It's overdone. It's like going to a Guitar Center and like wailing on the Stairway to Heaven solo. It's like everyone does it. It's like there's things you just don't do. All right, don't request Freebird. Don't request Freebird and just don't play that song in Guitar Center.
I was in a Guitar Center a little while back trying to I had to go get a microphone and there was totally that dude in there. And it's just like, dude, we get it. Like you're really good at guitar.
Yeah.
You're really good at guitar. And you want to show everybody that you're good at guitar. Like I don't know. Has anybody ever gotten signed by like, well, I was going to just go buy a keyboard and I heard this guy just crushing it in there. So I was like, you're a star. I'm signing you to my label now.
Yeah, man. He was playing piano, man.
Somehow.
Like, you're the one. Yeah, I don't that's ever happened, but
you run a piano store, be piano man. You can't play, right?
Yeah. Right. It's more like harmonica, man. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, the harmonica steals the show.
Oh, for sure.
If they're good. Yeah.
It's just like in your face. Just yeah.
Okay,
Let's
just talk about this because I always say the saxophone is the sexiest fucking coolest fucking instrument in anything. If you throw a saxophone in almost any song, I'm there. I'm there, and it makes it better. Like I would say harmonica, like a good harmonica is number 2. Like what are some other instruments, not your traditional instrument that you hear it in there and you're like, this song slaps.
I would say French horn because that's what I play. I played it in like band in middle school, and it's actually on Amber Hayes. Like I played the French horn for that song. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. Which in a way, French horn's kind of like it's like a brass saxophone in a lot of ways. Like they're like kind of like in the same register. And it's got that same like kind of timbre to it. it's just a brass instrument. But I don't know. French horn is really cool. It's in a lot of like cinematic movie stuff. You know, it's like the real like heroic stuff going on. So I would say it's a underrated instrument to use. I've actually though flute has been used a lot in some rap music lately. It's actually becoming a weird like thing. They like take a flute and then they like
Mask off.
yeah. It's mask off is when they did
Oh,
yeah. So it's becoming there are some weird instruments that people don't really think about that are like, you know, when you hear it you're like, oh, that's what that is. You know, like I know mandolins in a lot of
Making a comeback now.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I'd say mandolin's a cool one. French horn's always cool. You know,
Mandolin
flute's
is pretty
cool, I
tight.
guess.
The
you know.
ukulele's kind of cool, but it's like
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. Ukulele's hit or miss because sometimes it's just like we get it, dude. You
Yeah.
smoke weed and you're trying
Yeah.
to
You're
like,
on a beach. Yeah.
Eddie Vedder made a whole like ukulele album, and it's like, all right, Eddie, we get it. You're at the beach, you got stoned, and you wanted to make an album.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It can be overdone for sure. I think, yeah, I remember hearing a lot of ukulele music like when I was in high school or something, like a few years back. It's just, yeah, it's a little overdone. It was a few years back. Yeah.
I went through that phase where I bought a ukulele thinking I was like, this is my break. This
Yeah,
is
I
my
have
musical
one.
break right here. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm not talented at music at all. So
Yeah. I think everyone gets one at
I've
some
got
point.
one too.
Yeah. There's so like
I don't know
one-
where it is now.
Yeah.
I know where mine is. It's in the closet. I bought it in Hilo. It's like a Hawaiian, you know. It's,
I bought a slide whistle during
Oh,
quarantine. That's one of my
shit.
dumb.
That is. Oh, dude. That's underrated.
No
I
slide
mean, it's pointless other than like you're in a cartoon.
No, that's. I think that's underrated. I think kazoo's underrated too.
Ooh, kazoo.
Any song with kazoo? What's that one song? There's some song with kazoos in it. It's like so like iconic. Like, everyone knows about
Blind
it.
Melon used some kazoos.
It might be that.
They're really good.
Was it the end of the world as we know it? Is that song?
The song that they play kazoo on
That's a
is
different
actually
band.
about Ed Gein, the serial killer,
Oh,
which is pretty awesome.
that's upbeat. Yeah.
People didn't know Ed liked the
It's
kazoo. That
really
was his
good.
favorite instrument. What all instruments can you play?
I can play French horn. I can play trumpet, kind of. Piano, guitar. I sing. I guess ukulele. Throw that in there.
There you go.
I don't play bass, but I mean,
But you can play
I play-
guitar, so you can sort of play bass,
Range
right?
you can figure out.
what'd you say?
If
I
you
can
play
hear you.
guitar, you can sort of play bass, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, for the most part, I haven't actually played bass, but I'm sure I can learn it. Yeah, I wouldn't say like a lot of these instruments that I play, they're more like tools. Like I wouldn't consider myself a piano player, but I use it like when I'm recording to like kind of like if I know the chords, I can kind of like figure it out and kind of do what sounds pretty good. So it's more like a tool for me for like songwriting. I would say probably French horn and guitar and singing are probably my three like principal instruments that I'm pretty like I feel pretty good about doing in front of people. you
Okay.
know? Yeah.
Well, if you ever need a slide whistle on a future song or album,
you got it. You,
Hit me up.
you got it. Yeah, do one more
Yeah,
time. I wanna
I got it.
take some notes on the sound. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Be crazy.
That's gonna
It's like $8 on Amazon if anybody wants to get one. Just
it looks good. It looks like silver. It's that platinum.
it's like fake silver. It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty
Looks good on
gross.
here.
It tastes just. It's disgusting. I don't know. I thought there was gonna be like a mouthpiece on it. You know. I remember I wanted to play saxophone so bad when I was in school and I was in band, and
Everyone
they made
did,
us
yeah.
start on the clarinet, and I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
"Fuck the clarinet! I don't want to play the clarinet." And I tried to quit. My parents wouldn't let me quit, and then I got to play like saxophone for like 2 weeks before the end of the semester, and then I was like, "Okay, I can get out at the end of the semester, tight." And then my brother played trumpet when he was in school, and he wanted to quit because he didn't like it. My mom was gonna let him quit. I was like, "Oh fuck no. No. Remember when I had to sit through band and I hated it? Now he's going to have to sit through band and hate it." And he's like, "Why?" I was like, "You're going to have to suffer too."
It's a rite of passage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed band. I think I was in choir. I didn't like choir, which is weird. I didn't like singing when I was younger. So I kind of like gravitated towards band. I didn't start singing until I was like
But now
20, honestly.
Ooh.
I was pretty late on like learning how to sing and whatnot.
You didn't like singing in groups. You liked singing by yourself. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You liked to be in the star.
Right. Well, I always thought that like I was a bad singer, honestly. I had this like awful thing that happened in high school where I just sing in front of people. Like I just sing in band. Like it was like a part of like a test. And it
I was
the
about to
most-
say like choir.
No, it was in band. It was in band, but I had to like sing what I was going to play on the instrument. It was like a part of like a chair test. It was awful. And I was like, it was the most embarrassing thing I've ever done because I was so bad. I was like, my voice is going through changes and stuff. So it was I sounded like a dying cat. It was awful. But
now,
but everyone's sitting around me just like trying not to laugh, and it was like the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened. So I thought for like a long time that I was like not a singer. That just was not me. So
You proved all the haters wrong, though.
I guess so. I think I still know some of them that were there. So maybe I'll reach out to them. Be
You
like,
should.
"What's up?"
FYI, I just put out a new album. If you want to check it out,
Yeah, I should. I'm contacting everyone. I really am.
do it
Putting
right
it out
now. I want to see some screenshots.
there. All right.
Okay, so Winston Cook's new album, Crowd Pleaser. It's out everywhere now. You can get it on iTunes, stream it
Yes.
on Spotify. And like I said, make sure like when you go to bed, you're listening to it until you go to bed. Then just, mute it. Let it play all the way through over and over again so we can get those streams. We got to get those
Yeah.
stream numbers up, guys. The gravy,
Or don't-
the
or
past
don't
the
mute
gravy
it.
bump.
Yeah, do like Angel does.
Well,
It's-
no, yeah.
He just hears it in his dreams.
It's good dreaming music, man. It
actually a
really
good
tells a
idea.
story.
Okay, I wasn't trying to say not to listen
No,
to
no,
your
I know,
stuff.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I know
Get
what you
those
mean.
numbers up.
Yeah, get
That's
the
how I
numbers up.
memorized some 41s, all filler, no killer. I memorized that by just listening to it on my my boombox as I would sleep, and I remember
Oh,
knowing
shit.
like all the words to that. I'm like, how do I know this?
You just wake up just like, yeah. That's
I just
awesome.
knew every single word to every single song.
Wow.
All right. So yeah, Crowd Pleaser. Listen to it everywhere. You can stream music and go buy it. Just go buy it, and
Let's
then
go buy it.
let him know you did. Screenshot that and tag him. It's at Winston C_music. Let him know that you are supporting him. All right.
Yes.
Let's get to some segments. Y'all want to get a little weird here?
Yeah, let's get weird.
All right. Well, let's tell you guys. I guess I feel like this has been kind of a long advertisement for Southern Star anyways, but the official beer sponsor of Pass the Gravy podcast, my favorite beer. It was my favorite beer before it was the official beer sponsor of Pass the Gravy, and now it's our sponsor. We've been going with them a year strong. They are now back to regular tap room hours, 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe. The coolest tap room there is. Like, I know Buffalo Bayou, cool, like you get a Skyline, whatever. No, Southern Star had a cool tap room already beforehand. Okay? Fuck out of here, Buffalo Bayou. Fuck out of here. Yeah, like, you don't need a city to make your tap room cool.
Did you
all
hear
right?
that, Razzle? Get the fuck out of here. Sorry.
I've never been to the new tap room. I just know people say how cool
Neither
the
have
tap room is.
I. I heard it's very nice.
It does look cool, but like y'all, like the bar right now, if you watch the video version, like that's the coolest looking fucking bar ever. And especially like around like Christmas when y'all had it all decorated and everything, that was badass. Just I like that brick. It's clean. The logo with the blue behind it's right there. It's badass. It's badass. But yeah, there's something for everybody at Southern Star. Whether you're the IPA guy, you want the conspiracy theory, the Subatomica Juicy IPA, the Mort Vivant. Is that still going on? Is that still a thing? I feel like we say beers that aren't beers anymore.
Now you can find it still out. There's still cans here and there in grocery stores. And I tell you what, man, Le Mort Vivant will stay good in the can for like 2-3 years. It gets better. It's really, really good. Yeah, I bought 100 cases back from our distributor that they had sitting in their warehouse, and I was like, no, they could bleed them out in the marketplace, but I was like, no, I want them here because we'll do a 1-year anniversary release of it. Man, that shit tastes so good when it's 2 years old.
Oh,
It's
well,
really nice.
I was at Total Wine the other day, and because I had a guy on my podcast we put out this week, and I wanted to show him the red and the blue can, and I needed to get another red can. So I went to Total Wine, and I found a Blood Belt, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is old, but I still bought it.
Real.
It was definitely old. It was definitely old.
Yeah.
I think it was like
2
an
years
18.
old.
It was like an 18 was
2
the
years. We haven't
the
made
board
Blood
on-
Belt like 2 years.
But it was like I hadn't had one in forever, so I was like, fuck it, I'll try it.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't as
No, it
fresh as it could have been, but it was the nostalgia it brought back.
Well, check it out. When we do Pine Belt this year, we're gonna kick off half of a tank and put it in the bright tank and make just a one-off draft batch of OG Blood Belt.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's gonna be all right.
So come on up, drink some beer at the brewery. I think I'm gonna come up there with some of my soccer guys. I want to say I'm gonna try and come up there for a couple hours on Saturday. I haven't been up. I missed you guys. I haven't seen you guys since this whole pandemic happened. So I want to come hang out there for a little bit.
We're back
on
open,
Saturday.
man.
Yeah,
We're back
I'm
open
excited.
and jamming. I mean, we had a great time this last Saturday, a couple days ago. It was fantastic, man. I'm so happy that people are kind of getting back to normal because, dude, everybody's just going stir crazy right now.
I was listening. I think it was the Southern Star podcast, the SSPC. Go check that out too. Subscribe to that wherever you're listening to podcasts. I think you were saying that you had people out there. And you're like, there were just a lot of people that looked like they needed a beer. That just looked like they could use a beer. And I was like, yeah,
they did, man. I was just like, you need a beer. And in fact, during this whole pandemic, I was just like, I wanted to do hashtag you need a beer. And we kind of did that with the first responders. We gave away a whole bunch of winter warmer. It was like hashtag you need a beer. So it's like, all these guys and ladies that worked at hospitals and police and ambulance drivers and shit. I was like, dude, you guys need a beer. Come by, I'll give you some beers.
But yeah, get you any kind of Southern Star beer. Tag us at Past Gray Pod on Twitter. Let us know you're drinking some Southern Star. Send us a picture. Tag them at Southern Star BC as well. And I believe there's Southern Star Brewing Co. on Instagram. Just let us know you're supporting the people that support us, because that's how the world goes around, guys. Southern Star Brewing Company, the best beer in the whole world, the official beer sponsor of Past the Gray Podcast. All right, this is our segment called What Would Jesus Do? Now, I went to a bachelor party a little over a year ago, and I was talking to my friend about some stuff that went down there. He's like, well, I wonder what Jesus would have done in a situation like that. And I was like, that's a very good point, because we all had those bracelets, but like nobody ever told you what he would do in those situations.
Are you sure you want me on this segment?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I want everybody on this segment.
Okay.
So send us your suggestions. What would throw Jesus in a modern day situation? Use the hashtag PTGWWJD to @Pass the Gravy Pod. I'm at Alex J Middleton, and tag Southern Star as well on these at Southern Star BC. Hashtag PTGWWJD, and we'll get to the bottom of these on the What Would Jesus Do segment. Here's the intro as done by our good friend Jingle Blake Wonder.
Jesus, Jesus, what would Jesus do? Jesus, Jesus, what would Jesus do? Put him in a situation in a modern time. If you wrote this jingle, do you think he'd make it rhyme? So think about this crazy world in which we live today, and how would Jesus handle it in any given way?
Today's What Would Jesus Do comes from our good buddy, Tim Kostanek, the guy that made us the Pass the Gravy football helmets that are up there. Tim is at the 1T629111154. He has a lot of numbers in his Twitter handle. And Tim says, what kind of pet would Mary and Joseph let Jesus have as a kid? I feel like I've seen Jesus in a lot of pictures or drawings with lambs.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Lambs. I think lambs.
It's always like him holding lambs.
But
I
if
feel
you-
like Jesus would
but-
be a dog guy.
There's photo evidence.
I think he'd have a lizard because it grows back his tail. I mean, practice for the future. I don't. No, it's got legs.
I mean, but it was like, Satan was a snake, which is a lizard. So
He's against reptiles. I don't know.
Is Jesus against reptiles? Because my next
He's
guess would have
against-
been a turtle. I don't know why.
I don't know. Jesus is kind of a turtle isn't a terrible answer though.
Turtles aren't evil. They're good.
The turtles are cool.
Wait, snakes are evil and turtles are good?
Well,
I don't
Satan was a
understand the
snake,
rationale.
bro.
Snakes are evil.
Yeah, he was a minion. He was an unwitting tool of it. Just takes brains. Look, it's the tiny.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
just
Anytime I
being
ever see a
used.
snake, I'm like, snakes, you're bad. I've only heard bad things. I've never heard a good snake.
Wait,
story.
he's omnipotent. Jesus would have a velociraptor.
Fuck yeah, he would. All right.
Just like that,
You
okay.
go Velociraptor.
That's my final answer.
That'd be tight. Like, because if you're like Jesus, you could just have whatever animal it is.
I mean,
And
he
you're like, I want a
is
velociraptor.
non-violent, but anytime anybody fucked with him, the velociraptor could go take care of business.
Wait, isn't there
Yeah.
a lizard that can walk on water? Have y'all seen that?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine how much of velociraptor would have fucked up the fucking Pharisees?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
dude, a velociraptor getting a hold of Judas, like Judas after he finds out what he did.
it'd be like in Jurassic Park. It'd be amazing.
I saw like every couple of years, there's always that thing
Jurassic
where they're
Park.
like, we found out how to.
Sorry.
But every couple of years, there's that whole like story like we found out how to clone dinosaurs. There's like 87 movies about why not to do this.
Yeah, don't do
Like,
Yeah, it's like,
Don't.
haven't you? Yeah, it's a bad
Just
idea.
don't.
We've explored this philosophically and otherwise.
oh no, but let's just go put them on an island. No, didn't
No.
work there. Didn't work. Okay,
that was the first premise.
a
put 'em on the
fucking
moon.
dinosaur. We are not meant to be on the same place as them. All right, doesn't work out that way. No, pass on the dinosaurs. Pass on that. And somebody like, I think last week Pat was even like, well, what if it was just a brontosaurus? Like a brontosaurus would fuck shit up. A brontosaurus would fuck shit up if it was just walking around downtown. It'd be crushing buildings, just stepping on people. It's a just giant elephant. And if you let an elephant out from the zoo, it would fuck shit up anyways. Like, no.
It'd take our minds off coronavirus.
Is coronavirus real though?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know.
It's real. It's real. It's definitely real. I just like being that guy. Well, is it though? And then I saw. Did you see the fucking World Health? We're recording this the Monday before we let this out, but the World Health Organization is a thing.
Yeah, that guy.
The Who, the band, the Who. They came out and they said that asymptomatic people can't transmit it. It's like, wait, what? Wasn't that why we were inside?
To be fair, the World Health Organization hasn't known shit since this started. So I'm like, to me, it's like, yeah.
Well, now I'm mad.
Hmm?
Well, I'm mad because I had to sit inside for 3 months and they took away sports.
They don't know what they're talking about. They haven't since this began. I don't want to get political. Well, I'm not getting political.
I know. I'm not
just saying every fucking thing they says have been wrong. So that's why we need beer. I heard that beer cures coronavirus.
I've never seen any studies that disproved that. So we'll go with that.
In the world we live in, it's like, disprove me. That's the basis of science, right?
We don't know that that's not true.
That's right.
So we'll go with that.
There's a lot of kooky shit going on right now. I'm pretty sure. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say Southern Star beer cures coronavirus.
Specifically. I have only been
Corona will give you coronavirus because it's in the name.
People are saying that. People are saying that.
I'm saying.
I'm living proof. I have only been drinking Southern Star beer.
And you have coronavirus.
And I've never gotten it.
Proof.
And
Me too.
None of these guys here.
Me too.
100% of our test subjects.
There's 3. Okay, everybody here. So, it's got to be true.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't know anybody that's ever had a Southern Star that has then told me they had coronavirus. So if you do, don't say anything. But I personally don't know anybody. And so
if you do,
100%
bubble,
for me.
Cool.
So that was our What Would Jesus Do segment, guys. If you got a Jesus situation, throw it to us at PassGreatPod. Use the hashtag WWJD. All right.
I thought this was going to be a whole thing because
it's just one. This is that was actually the way we lose the most listeners. People get really mad at us about
Oh, okay. Well, I figured out what Jesus would drive.
What would he drive?
Remember it says so in the Bible. It said he arrived in heaven in a triumph.
Wasn't there one of I did this of my own accord, so he'd drive a Honda Accord?
Oh yeah, he went up to heaven in his own accord. Yeah, that's maybe he had 2 cars.
JC's got some cars, all right. His dad's God, he can get his hands on some cars.
Triumph anyway, or an Accord. Well, I guess it was only 11 of them at that point in time. They left the one guy got eaten by a velociraptor.
That's true. The velociraptor came back for him. All right, let me tell you guys quickly before we're going to do our not cool segment is our next one.
I think we just did.
To some people that may not be cool, but our not cool segment, it could be you stub your toe, that's not cool. You get stabbed, also not cool. Varying differences of not cool, I always joke about how Netflix used to have the star system, but then Amy Schumer ruined it because people didn't rate her thing well. And so it was they're like, oh, instead of 5 stars, now it's thumbs up or thumbs down. It's like Traffic, thumbs down. The Holocaust, also thumbs down. Very differing degrees, but true. I feel like it's not the best way to do it. But I was like, you know what? Not cool is anything. So if you guys want to think about that while I tell you guys about Little M air fresheners, then we'll get to our not cools. But Little M air fresheners, the best air fresheners in the whole wide world. That if you got a smelly car or home that has you down, Little M air fresheners don't only smell good, they look good too. They're made from paper scented with essential oils. Those air fresheners are going to freshen up any space that you have. They have a fantastic variety of unique scents and designs. They also have some sweet fucking keychains they're giving away. They're like little motel keychains that say see you never. And I don't know what the other one is, but just order those. You go to littlemshop.com, littleemshop.com. The best air fresheners and all kinds of stuff. Tag us. Let us know you're supporting the people supporting us at PassGreatPod. Tag them, Little M Tweets. And go check out some Little M air fresheners, the best air fresheners in the whole world. Littlemshop.com, littleemshop.com. All right, this is the not cool segment, guys.
Well, before we get to the not cool segment, I want to say that little M air fresheners are available here at our tap room too. So
they are.
Pick them up.
They are.
Yep.
Go get in. Go up 3525 North.
And that
Fraser
is
Street
cool.
in Conroe. That is very cool. It's not cool when you have a smelly car, brewery, or anything, but it is cool when you have air fresheners that are gonna freshen that up. Little life hack I always like to tell everybody: throw it in the like we have the trash can liner, and then we have like just the plastic of the trash can. Throw an air freshener in between the two. Then you get like I had crawfish, day old crawfish that was just sitting in there. When you lift that up, you get that nice little whiff of
That is SMRT.
saying. And I know our girl Casey got some. She said she put it in the diaper genie with her kid. Makes it smell a little bit better. But this is our not cool segment, guys.
Not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool, man.
Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's not cool.
I'll go first with my not cool. If you guys are still thinking on yours, mine is just awkward elevator situations.
Something not cool.
In my building, I have just like you ever get in the elevator, you see the guy coming in, you're like, do I hold it or do I just not? Like today I got in and there were two people that came in the side door and they were trying to put coffee tables in the elevator, and I'm having to I don't like being in an elevator with people that it's awkward. And then, can you hit 3, please? Like it's weird having to have weird, awkward elevator conversations sometimes. So I was like, I'm just going to do the normal thing and pretend I'm checking my mail for however long it takes them to get in there. But they're trying to move coffee tables, so it took them a long time. And then one of them took one up, and the other one was waiting in the elevator. I didn't have anything in my mailbox, so I'm just staring at an empty mailbox, trying to pretend like I'm not just staring at nothing. And then I was like, do I just get out and walk up the stairs or what? And then finally that other person goes in there. So I hit the button and I had to wait for the elevator to come down. And as I get in there, I see somebody opening the door to come in, and I'm just like, oh, hey, as I'm closing the button. And it's, I don't know, awkward elevator situations are not cool because I don't know if I was right or wrong. It's just, it makes me uncomfortable in awkward elevator situations.
No, yeah. Screw that. No, I mean,
that's not cool.
you know when you want to be around people, and you know when you don't want to be around people.
And then if you have groceries, oh, what do you got? You cooking tonight? Like, shut up. I don't want to talk to you.
Are you cooking tonight?
Look, something smells good. Yeah, it's my food, dumbass. No shit. Why do you think I'm eating it? But that's my not cool. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Because I remembered something that happened just today.
All right.
It always happens to me, and I'm sick of it. It's not cool when people forget to put straws to my drink in the bag for when I go get food, fast food.
Ooh,
get the straws, because you don't realize it. You're pulling out, and you're like, oh shit, why don't I have a straw? So you gotta and especially nowadays with Corona, you gotta I can't drink out of the lid, so you gotta go. You either gotta go back in, or you can't go back in because some of them are closed either. So you gotta stay back in.
Yeah, you gotta go around and get back in the line.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Usually
I just needed a straw.
Yeah, it's the worst. And they hate you, and you're like, did they spit on my straw now? Are they mad at me? I'm sorry. Usually I just drive home though, and the ice melts, and it's just a big mess. Honestly, it's a waste of a drink.
That is the worst. When you don't before pre-Rona, I guess.
Yeah.
But when you would just not get the straw, and then you're just I guess I'm drinking it. Just sipping out of the little hole in the top. It gets below a certain point, and you're like, you're just kind of pouring it on yourself.
Yeah, that's not cool either.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna take the top off and sip it now.
Yeah, but then I don't know, if you're on a bumpy road, that could end up bad too. It's just
That
a
is
big
true.
mess. They should just give us straws. That's the more.
Always give you the straws. Yeah.
Yeah, just assume I want a straw. Always.
Throw a couple extra straws in just for good measure.
Yeah, and while we're at it, I need more marinara sauce because they never give me enough of that either. So.
Yeah, any place besides Chick-fil-A really skimps on the sauces. At Chick-fil-A,
Chick-fil-A's undefeated. Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
I don't understand Chick-fil-A how you can go to McDonald's and McDonald's isn't crowded, but it takes you 45 minutes to get your food, and you go to Chick-fil-A at 12:30 on a weekday, and there's a drive-through line out the door and all the way around the building twice, and you still get your food in 5 seconds. You're like, how are y'all able to do this? And they're like, my pleasure, sir. Have a great day.
I know, and they're happy about it. It's crazy. I know. Yeah, they're undefeated. McDonald's ice cream machine is always broken too, so that's no fun.
Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I got any ice cream at McDonald's. So.
Yeah,
I mean, I think maybe when the McFlurry was big. Yeah, because I can't even when I want to.
Anyway, that's my not cool.
My not cool is very short and sweet. It's for the video people. My not cool is Chinese Doritos.
What?
Not cool.
Yeah, go watch the video version, guys. I don't even think I should tell them anything. Just go watch the video version. Watch the video.
That's
first,
all.
right?
Not cool.
That's a good one.
All right.
It's a visual,
All right.
not cool.
Okay, Angel, what's your not cool?
If I had to pick a not cool, it has to pertain to the bakers. So I just recently started like trying to make and like cook.
Like the
Bacon,
bakers, you
I'm
know, you
sorry.
bacon, you getting
Nah,
baked. Bro?
that's
Yeah,
separate. That's
dude.
separate. Yeah.
No, not those bakers.
No, but I tried baking a loaf of bread for the first time like 2 weeks ago. And I did everything right. And I put it in for an hour, 15, what it asked for. I pulled it out and it's still raw in the middle. So not cool. Because once you put it back in, it messes it up already. So it'll be too crispy or it just doesn't even cook the middle. It looks like it's cooked, but it's not really. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's not cool.
What goes
'cause
into bread? What goes into making bread?
It's really just like, I mean, it's simple, like yeast, sugar, water, flour, and then just, I mean, that's really all it is.
Do you have to make it in like a pan where it like rises up to the pan, or does it just like form itself?
So,
I know yeast
if
rises.
the yeast will do its thing. So before you actually put it in, you have to let it rise itself. And then you put it in, and then it does its thing. But like, it told me like once the top is crispy, it's ready. So I did that. I tapped the top, it was crispy. It's like, oh, cool, it's ready. Pull it out, cut the middle, completely raw. Not everything, but a little tiny circle. That's my own personal not cool, to be honest.
That's
Hopefully
that's what
pertains.
not cools are, man. I feel like not cool for making your own bread would be the bitch of like having to like cut it out, like making sure all of the pieces are evenly cut. Because I know
Not
mine
cool 'cause
wouldn't
I
be.
thought I was doing everything right, but apparently it wasn't.
Yeah, but you don't know until you get it out. So
Yeah, not cool.
It
Not
is.
cool.
That's what not cool is for, man.
But you're sorry you started this segment.
No, never sorry.
At least we all had one each.
We had not cool.
We had one each.
Mine was a little bit of a stretch.
I just want a straw.
It's still good. It's still good.
Oh my.
The weird thing is like now I'm doing like 2 episodes a week, and like this is my 3rd one that I've recorded in this week. I'm just releasing it next week, but it's like I gotta like get pissed off about more stuff. Like where I'm like, okay, what am I mad about today? And like I'm just like manufacturing shit, I guess, that I'm not really upset
Chinese
about.
Doritos, man. It's
I'm gonna
always
get really angry about it. Dude, Doritos and me are kind of friends off, just because I pitched to them for years to just mix the nacho cheese and the Cool Ranch in one bag. Give us a bag of just the mixture.
God, what
of
a
it.
great idea.
No,
Because
they
everybody
don't
likes
give a shit.
both.
I love both. I mean, I know there's people that like one or the other, but it's like, what about people that like both? And then like I was like, I did the test myself. I bought a big Ziploc bag, bought 2 bags, put them together. They were
What if-
fantastic because you get
What
the
if
dust
they
on
made
both.
it like a pack of nerds to where there's a divider down the middle and you could open up both ends?
You could
and
lift
just,
it if you wanted to, and just be crazy.
See?
Well, believe me, they don't give a fuck. They don't
No,
give a
they
fuck. I've
don't.
hit them up. I've hit
Fucking
them up, and they don't
Doritos.
care. They ignore me. They know I love Lil Nas X, and he's a Doritos guy. He doesn't even care. And so I went to HEB with their knockoff Doritos, and they were like, "We'll
he's
send it up
frozen.
Scott's way." And they didn't care. They didn't care. Like we started a cult. We were the Branch Gravidians, and then we were like, they're called the Branch Gravitos, and like we had this whole thing, and just it never took off. And it really, as like every time I see Doritos, I'm a little upset. They make me mad. They make me. I get a little bit triggered when I see Doritos because I'm like, we know what could have been. But just like it's already there. You already have the. I'm not asking them to make anything new.
Dude,
just put them
Do you
all
know
in one
they have
bag.
like, you go to the Asian market, they got like fucking shrimp flavored Doritos and shit. I bet those Chinese Doritos are shrimp flavored.
They might be.
Fucking weird. No, seriously, I go there and I'm like, what the shit?
That's like
That-
Kit Kat. They have like like green tea Kit Kats. You're like, how?
Yeah, it's like the
what
same.
is
I mean,
this?
it's fun to go to the Asian market, but sometimes you buy some shit and you're like, nope.
I always like going in those just to see if they have
Oh,
like
yeah.
live chickens.
The what?
I always just go there to see if they have like live chickens.
Sometimes they do.
I've never found one that does, but I'm always like super interested. They have that
Hey,
like
I'll tell you one that does, the Wuhan wet market.
I'm gonna try and stay out of that one.
Yeah, it's probably.
I hear they have really good bat though.
Yeah, they got an excellent bat.
Get that fried bat. It's people
Yeah.
say it's to die for. Some might say.
Takes your breath away.
It takes your breath
It will take your breath away. Yeah. You won't be flattening any curves with that one.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. That was our not cool segment. That was a lot of fun. We got one more. You guys are still cool to hang out with for that one. And I don't really have an ad, but I guess I do have an ad. PassTheGravyMerch.com. We got face covers. I was supposed to get mine in by today, but I don't know why the fuck it's not here. It's
Pew,
awesome.
pew,
So,
pew, pew,
like, I have the
pew.
little gator face covers we made now. They just say Pass the Gravy Podcast on them. You look kind of like a ninja. I heard that it helps you get service really fast in banks. And I don't know. Yeah, you just wear the mask and they really want to help you quickly.
Especially if you walk in there going pew 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 pew.
Like, oh, this guy. Yeah, let's get to him first.
Oh, yeah,
please.
yeah.
We hit
Crazy.
some
He goes
secret
to
button
service.
and then the cops show up. But just you're fine. You're fine. Just don't actually have a gun. But yeah, go check out PassTheGravyMerch.com. Get your PTG face covers. They're flying off the shelves now. So go get them while we still have some in stock. And then you can also get any of the awesome other Pass the Gravy merch. PassTheGravyMerch.com for some of your favorite podcast stuff if you want to go support your favorite local podcast. All right, this is the answers segment. Now, when I was in Miss Winter's third grade class in Lawrenceville, Georgia, at Far Elementary, I remember her telling us there's no such thing as a stupid question. And I shot my hand up, asked a question, got laughed at. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I
She was
thought
wrong.
She lied to me.
Yeah,
And
no,
I've
there's
never
stupid
I
questions.
don't know if you know, I've not forgotten it. I've held on to that forever. And I vowed to myself one day, Alex, you'll be in charge. And you will answer any question regardless. if
By
people
God,
say
here
it's
you
stupid.
are.
And I never got put in
Yeah,
charge.
leave me
but I
now,
started-
bitches.
I started a podcast, so I appointed myself in charge. So I wasn't really ever given charge, but I just was like, oh, nobody else did this. So it's
No,
my
you
thing.
grabbed it. You grabbed.
I grabbed charge.
You grabbed
That's right.
charged by the you know. Oh no.
Depending on who
We're
you want to
friends
say
again.
what, yeah, just insert your own. But I took charge and I said, hey, Cindus, you got high thoughts, anything you think of while you're in the shower. If you see something on a billboard or just something you're like, I don't know, I wonder what the Gravy Gang would have to say at Pass the Gravy Podcast. Hit us up. Hashtag PTG Answers on Twitter to @PassTheGravyPod. You can also email them to us if you don't have Twitter. Answers@PassTheGravyPod.com, although we do prefer Twitter because that's where we look at first. This is the Answers segment.
Well, if you just answer the question, why just answer the question? Be honest, no big deal. Yeah, answer the question.
Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
Any questions?
All right, our first question is from Matthew Jaramillo at TX Jalapeno 85, and he says, if a mosquito sucks blood from somebody that's been drinking all day, does the mosquito get drunk too?
Absolutely.
You would have to, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it depends on
Like,
how
it's-
drunk you are.
If you've been
but,
day drinking
I
all
think The
day,
drunker you are, the more hammered the mosquito gets. But yeah, I mean, that's like a pastime of mine. Try to get all the mosquitoes in my neighborhood fucked up. I sit in my
Just hang out
backyard
with
and
them?
pound beers. My wife says, "What are you doing?" I was like, making yard life more awesome.
hanging with my friends.
Yeah, hanging with my friends, right? Making new friends. Drinking
I
with
don't
my
see
buddies.
anybody that. Oh, they're here. They're here. You'll hear them buzzing around every now and then.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
And like, you gotta be really fucked up if you're the mosquito, then too, right? Because like they're way smaller.
I mean, but they're tiny, you know. It's like, yeah, they probably explode.
I mean, yeah, they'll probably eventually like all that iron, all that unneeded iron.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
without a doubt, they get hammered.
I think they do too. That's a good
Yeah.
question, Matthew. Our next one is from Uziel Lara at Lil Uzi 27 on Twitter, and Uziel says, "If you throw a party at a nudist beach, is it considered a gender reveal party?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I mean, he's not wrong, but I mean,
Ew.
according to the gender reveal definition party nowadays, probably. But I mean, you
No,
got a
because a
point
gender
there.
reveal it has to be blue or pink. Like
He's
there's
got a
no,
point there.
which I think is a little bit offensive because now we're already gendering our kids. I thought we were supposed to let our kids.
No, I'm
gender
pretty sure if you're at a
themselves.
nude beach, you can tell what gender they are.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say anything on a gender, like any party on a nudist beach would be a gender reveal party in some form.
Nice.
Or is
You
it
know?
a birthday party because they're in their birthday suits?
Both. It might be both.
Like everyone's birthday. Everyone's birthday.
I don't know what y'all's thoughts are on gender reveal parties. I am very anti gender reveal. Like, just tell me what you're gonna
They're
have.
not necessary, in my opinion. I mean,
I've never gone to
I mean,
one,
it's-
and I
it's
have
for
been
other
invited by
people.
family.
I'm pro. I mean, if that's what floats your boat, I'm pro. I mean,
Right? No, and you're allowed to do it. I'm just not going. and I don't get like,
Alright, yeah, there you go.
Well, to
There
be
you go.
fair, I'm probably not going
There
anyway.
you go.
So it's like,
yeah. Well, like, I've had a couple of family members, or like one family member twice now, be like, "You didn't go," and I was like, "Yeah, it's just."
it's because your party's fucking lame. That's why I didn't go.
Because I don't care. How about you just fucking tell me what it's gonna be?
Baby showers are weird too, though.
The baby showers are weird. They're for girls, although you can get
No,
hammered at
because
baby
now
shower, too.
it's the co-ed one because they can get double the shit.
No, but all the dudes end up by the pool hammering beers.
That's
I
true.
mean, they do.
Yeah.
You know?
Just call it what it is. Just have a party.
Like the baby shower and guys.
No, it's a segregated party. It's a generally segregated party because all the chicks hang out inside and they're like, "Ew," and all the dudes like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for that. But I mean, seriously, all the dudes are out there. Just
We'll cut
pounding
that part.
beers.
We'll cut that part.
No, you don't have to cut it. I'm proud.
Spoiler alert, I don't cut any part. That's a little joke. That's a
All
little,
right, great.
a little
I wish my
word of
mom would've
advice.
said that when I was born.
If you ever
Oh,
if you ever interviewing anybody, just tell them you'll cut all those parts, and they'll just.
And
think
they
you
just
don't
don't.
ever
Yeah, I
cut
know.
it.
I know. I don't know if you heard the podcast that I did with Mason, a folk family revival, but it was like 2.5 hours long. He talked about tripping on acid for like an hour and a half. It was pretty amazing.
You
should
wanna
go
keep
back
all
and
that
listen
in
to
there.
it. It's
You
pretty
want to keep
amazing.
all that in there. Maybe trip acid, then listen to him talking about
Yeah,
tripping
no,
acid, and
he
you'll
could.
really
I mean,
be having an
that's all. I was
experience.
like, don't worry, we'll cut that out. And I was like, just roll with it, Angel.
And then like you can always like, oh, totally forgot. My bad, dude. That's on me. And like, oh no,
Sorry.
yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's so long ago.
You know what? I ate a bunch of acid and forgot.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us.
yeah, sometimes.
So yeah, I would say any party at a nudist beach is technically a gender reveal party,
You
whether or
reveal
not you
your
want
own
it to be.
gender, for sure.
Yeah. Our next question comes.
That's the way I took it. You're
Yeah.
revealing your own gender. Yeah, I think that's the way you intended it.
I think so.
No.
Our next question comes from our buddy Josh Tree Caudle at Joshua Tree 713, and he says, "Was orange a color or a fruit first?"
It was fun color
It's
first
a fruit.
I think it had to be.
because somebody said, "What is that?" and the guy goes, "I don't know. It's orange."
He got a cease and desist and start calling
Yeah.
it mac and cheese color. That was that guy.
No, it's color first.
I think it was a color.
Yeah,
I
think
rest
color
my
first.
case. This is color
No, I
first.
think it was a fruit first.
Whoa.
Who came further?
Explain.
I think it was a fruit, and they were like, let's just call it an orange. And then
Yeah, but I mean,
But then they were like mixing some powders one day, and they're like, "Oh, that's a pretty color. What do we call it?" And they're like, "I don't know, but it looks like this orange I have." I think that's what happened.
okay. Well, I mean, I can see now that you explain it that way, but if that was true, then yellow would be called lemon or something, you know? So I'd be like,
Isn't it weird to think of how people came up with names for like colors and animals? Like,
I think it's weird how people came up with language at all and why it means the things.
yeah,
that it
like how
does.
did you,
All works in
like,
there.
what made you be like, this is blue? Like how, like, what did it sound like? Was there something else that was probably another, like, I don't know. Like, how did you decide what a zebra was? Like how, like, out of all the letters that you could throw together,
Yeah, just zebra. That means, yeah. I agree with you.
I'm sure it was
I think they had to have
Language
like
is
children.
stupid. Let's go back to grunts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just point.
this point. I do. I mean,
I'll draw a picture of it on this cave
beers and
wall.
I'll be there.
Yeah, if you drink enough,
We drink enough Southern Star, we'll all get that. We'll all just get like, back to
Mhm.
grunts.
they're quicker.
Okay, so yeah, orange was a color first, Josh. Our
Oh, I
next,
mean, it's a split decision because he said fruit, I said color, but I'm glad that you went with the right answer.
Knows?
I mean, there's right answers and there's wrong answers, and Winston's wrong in this one. All right, we love you, but you're wrong.
That's fine. I get it.
Okay, our next one's from David Ruiz at David_Ruiz90 on Twitter, and he says, if life isn't fair for everyone, does that mean that life is actually fair?
Ooh.
You're saying life's
Dude, that's
not
some
fair.
Socrates shit right
None of
there.
These are dumb questions. These are all great questions.
That's what I'm saying. Pat always shits on the questions. I'm like, dude, no, they're smart.
No, that's some deep philosophical shit right there.
I don't.
It's unfairly fair. Like a balance.
It can be fairer, I guess, for certain people, but like, yeah, it's I don't know. We're in a weird time. I feel like I gotta dance around this question. But
Yeah, no, I'm gonna dance out of the way of this question because I feel like right now is a fucked up time to answer that question.
if life is unfair to everyone,
Yours is fine. It could be fair. I'm going with
Stumbles
Winston.
up the
It
board
could
a little
be
bit.
Fairer.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Or I'll go with yours.
it
Sorry.
could be fairer.
I could be drunker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I think that life being unfair is just like a way that you look at it too in a lot of spots. Like, you know, I don't know. Like when I say life's not fair, that's very different than when a lot of other people say life's not fair. If that makes sense without getting too heavy. And we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And we'll go with that. Just fucking, you know, make the most out of what you got. That's what we'll say here, guys. Just love everybody. Huh? There we go. All right.
Hey, I get behind that.
Everybody love everybody.
Right. Everybody love everybody. Come on.
Everybody love everybody.
Do it.
It's a great movie. Great movie.
Yep. Jackie Moon.
Talk about
I don't know why people don't talk. Semi-Pro is a super underrated movie that not enough people have seen.
Dude, I haven't seen it in a while, so I can't pretend to know what the hell you're talking about.
God damn it,
I've never seen it
Verkaitis.
because I don't watch movies.
Semi-Pro.
Oh, that was on the other day. Yeah, it was good.
There's so many quotable movies. There's so many quotable scenes. Corn dogs, Jackie. Corn dogs.
It's a good one.
I like it because he makes it feel like I'm just crushing. I'm just crushing with these lines.
Yeah, you want to come sit down?
I got extra stools.
All right, we got one last question. This is an emailed one from our buddy Zachary Andrews, and Zach says, "Is it possible to be hooting without hollering?" I guess you're hooting and hollering. Can you just hoot and not holler?
Owls do it. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
You're fucking
Owls can
right.
do
Owls
it,
do it.
yeah.
You're right. Yeah. So definitely you can.
You ever see an owl holler?
No,
They're in danger when that happens.
They generally don't. They either screech. So they don't ever holler. There's no such thing as a
Tootsie
holler
Pops,
owl.
but they don't holler.
There's a screech owl. There's a hoot owl, but there ain't no holler owl. I think you nailed it.
I think so too.
I'll stop there then.
I don't know.
Done.
I don't know what to think about owls. Are we friends on with owls or are we friends off? Because owls are kind of weird.
I'm friends on for sure. I think they're cool as shit. They can rotate their head all the way around like The Exorcist.
I don't. That makes me kind of not trust them.
There's a viral video. There's a viral video of a guy like with like an owl friend. He's like drinking a beer and hanging out with an owl. It's like a viral video.
I had a pig friend one time that I got. It was a potbelly pig I got drunk with, and he's my friend.
Pigs can be scary though.
It was amazing.
What? Like how
Well,
long?
He looked like he needed a beer, so I spent a whole afternoon drinking with this potbelly pig. It was
Team player.
Just you and the pig?
It was just me and the pig. Yeah.
That definitely added
I was at a party, but I'm kind of antisocial, so I just kept going over and getting 2 beers and going.
It's like me with dogs.
Poured
but
one
I
for the
don't give
pig and one
dogs
for me. I'm
beer.
like, yeah, piggy. I mean, I was a little bit drunk. I was a lot drunk by the time I left.
A tad bit.
It was the pig, and that was like.
The pig was a bad influence. He kept getting.
But he
me
looked
drunk.
at me. The way he looked at me, he was like, "Oh my God, you're some kind of an angel."
You should go get more beer. Go get more beer. And you're like,
That's what
okay,
he
the
did,
pig wants
dude.
more
I
beer.
think we drank like 17 beers apiece. It was a lot of fun.
I got a stupid question.
All right, yeah.
I got a stupid question. If you give beer to a potbelly pig, does that make it a beer belly pig?
How much
We
beer?
smoked a joint too. So
It's a roasted pig.
Yeah, so,
The roasted pig, yeah.
that's why I forgot to tell you that. I smoked
Baked
a joint
pig.
with this pig too.
Never mind then.
He was
Wait.
a pot-headed, beer-bellied pig. That's what he ended up being.
Pot-headed beer belly. I like that.
Pot-headed,
I like
beer-bellied.
that a lot.
Yeah.
Damn, that was good.
That blew my mind a little
These
bit.
are the
trying to
things
put
I
that
know.
together.
These are the things I know.
Like, what other animals have you gotten drunk with, Dave?
I got a dog stoned one time. That was fun.
That's bad for it.
No, it's not. He was happy.
It's not. No, it chills it out, dude. Now dogs are all about that CBD and shit.
I gave a horse a beer one time. I gave a goat a beer. In fact, there's a town in Texas where the mayor is a beer drinking goat. I'm not real sure. I think it's Boquillas is the Look,
like he got voted into office.
Boquillas. The mayor of Boquillas is a beer drinking goat.
I
And if I ever go to Boquillas, I'm buying the mayor a beer.
Dude, how cool would it be to go vote for a goat in like an election?
I mean, real cool.
I've heard about
It's Boquillas, man.
I've heard about him.
Like with everybody being like, let's vote for change. It's time to vote for change. Like I'm
voting for
I'm
fucking
fucking
goat.
fuck humans. Goats. We're going goats.
Nah. No, you could do a sheep or you'd be like, nah.
Alex, you never know. He might be the greatest of all time. You never know.
You could. Some might say that, yeah. Yeah, because just like whoever he's running against, just like vote goat because so and so is bad.
Vote goat. Vote goat.
like there's so many slogans. No shit that goat's gonna win every time.
Every time. See?
I know there was a place in Alaska they had a dog, and I was like, well, yeah, everybody's gonna vote for a dog. I'd vote for
A fucking beer drinking goat. I mean, this is a shoe in.
Yeah. I mean, unless you get a bunch of prudes and like living in that town. But then
Boo. So a pig, and I haven't actually given a go to beer. I just know of one.
You know one that
have,
would
given
drink
a horse a beer, and he liked it. And
well, Toby Keith sang about that, so it's okay to give horses beer.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I mean, most of the country people do. Beer for my horses, yeah. And then I got a dog stone, and I got mice stone too in college, and then fed them Cheetos and watched a little. It was amazing. Yeah.
You like just went to the pet store, like bought mice, or did somebody have
there's
mice?
a darker side to this. I had a python, and that was raising the mice to feed my python, but they didn't know, so I wanted to make them as happy as humanly possible. So I got them high and fed them Cheetos,
and then fed them to a snake.
Yeah, but I mean they were real
But like,
high.
hey, think about how much fun they had though.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, that was a bad trip.
My brother used to have a boa constrictor in school when he was in school.
Sorry.
And, but my brother he lived in Baton Rouge then, and like they wouldn't let him buy the live mice to feed, so he would have to come back to Katy, visit my parents, and he would buy. Like, eventually, he just bought like a couple to breed because he was like, well, fuck, like.
I did the same thing. Well, I had a whole shitload of mice, and then I made the mistake. I was like, well, let me get my snake a treat. And I fed him a gerbil, and then he didn't want to eat anything but gerbils. So then I had to start fucking raising gerbils. I never got.
So what do you do with the mice? You just let them go?
No, well, yeah, kind of.
You're freeing them.
Yeah, no, there was a jailbreak. They were like, dude, did you see that guy? They all knocked on the door. They're like, hey, man, you got any more of that? They ended up at my friend Jeff's house. 3 high mice.
I just remember my brother being like, dude, just like breeding mice gets nuts after a second. I was
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, for a while, like I said, it worked. Then I fucked up and fed the snake a gerbil, and then I had to breed gerbils. And gerbils.
How big did the snake get?
He was about 6 feet long.
Was it?
It was a ball
gerbil's
python.
The biggest thing
it was a
fed
good sized ball python. He'd only eat one, like maybe every 2 weeks.
But was that the biggest thing you fed it?
Yeah, no, I fed my friend had a Burmese python that was about 16 feet long, and I fed him a chicken, and he missed the chicken and bit my hand. That was freaky.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that was fun. And then he started feeding him rabbits, and then I guess he let it go in the woods or something.
I've seen people with like rabbits, and it's like I feel like after you eat the rabbits, it's like then it's gonna eat you next, like because that's like the next step.
Probably.
Up.
I mean, it's like I eat rabbits.
Mice
well, I eat chickens
still,
too, but yeah, I don't eat mice.
But mice is still like small enough to where it's like, okay, haha, this is just cute. This is funny that we're doing this, and like rabbits are some fucking real shit.
They're fucking big.
It's like a small dog that it could eat.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
You can feed it chihuahuas too.
You could, yeah.
That's true. That's scary.
Hey, like I said, that's where my affair with the snake ended.
Did you ever
gerbils.
lose the snake?
No, I'd take him to school with me. I would put him down my shirt, and he'd wrap around my every once in a while I'd be like, stop it. He like come up like now. I traded him for weed.
Probably a good trade at that point.
More than that.
Oh, damn.
I remember my brother called me one time. He was up at school. He was like, "Alex, I lost Scooter," and I was like, "What? Like your snake?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know where he is. Like I was cleaning his tank, and now I can't find him." And for like 2 weeks, that snake was not there. And he said he was like doing laundry one day, just like, I don't know, it's got to be somewhere. Like that's absolutely terrifying. It's a boa constrictor. It will kill you. Like it. I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't sleep there. I'll tell you that much. But he said he was like picking up laundry and like he like picked up like some shirt or whatever, and the snake just fell out of it. He was like, "Oh, what's up?" So they'd just been like living
Snakes
in the
are
house.
terrible pets though, because you get them and they're just like they don't give a shit about you. They're reptiles. They're like, I just want to get away. And
Yeah,
like
I wanna go
I
do
had
my
to fish
thing.
mine out of the springs of the couch one time. He got like underneath it, and I was just like, oh my god! I flipped this couch upside down and like extract the snake from the couch.
Uncoiled from the coils.
No, it was. I mean, kind of. But he was pretty chill. I mean, he never bit me. He was good. He was chill. But that was. I mean, I got him when he was like this big. He was little bitty, and then I just kind of kept feeding him. He kept getting bigger and bigger, and
I remember my brother got his like mailed to him from Florida, and it was like in a little like plastic package that was like wrapped up in all this shit. I was like, that's weird that somebody just mailed a snake.
I went to the sketchiest shit snake dealer, and so like I got my snake in
He's got a
one
trench
hand
coat with
and
just
two
50 snakes in
Burmese
it.
pythons. In fact, the Burmese python that bit me, two of them in the other hand. So I'm sitting here like a fucking Pentecostal driving, in the passenger seat of a Camaro driving back. My buddy's driving. I'm like, handling snakes and shit.
That's funny as shit.
Good times.
Who would have thought we'd be getting on Snake Talk? Snake Talk, we're talking owls, we're talking all kinds of things. That's what happens with the answer segment, guys. But hey, thank you guys for all doing this. This has been a lot of fun. Angel, Dave, and Winston. Winston's album, go check that out. Crowd Pleaser, out everywhere. Go buy it on iTunes. Screenshot it. Let them know you did it. At Winston C_music. Angel, what's your Twitter? I'm looking at it, but I don't want to mispronounce it because it's a lot
I'm just gonna spell it out.
Okay.
It's at AVANGELOSERKID. So AV Angel Loser Kid. It's an old. It has to do.
Dude, that is such a fucking sad boy.
It has to do with.
It is like
Angels and Airwaves, Tom DeLonge, and his old shoe brand. It's we used to buy you can only buy them on loserkid.com. Anyway,
Okay.
It's got my own thing.
I'll tag you guys all too when I'm posting the episode, but go give everybody a follow. Southern Star Podcast, SSPC. You can listen to that wherever you listen to podcasts.
SSPC and SSBC.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dave's off the grid, but follow Southern Star BC on Twitter. Go give us a 5-star review, roast us in the comments. Just make sure you type out at least 5 words and just roast the fuck out of us as long as you give us those 5 stars. And
Make sure you send it to my Facebook page. I'm sure it'll hurt my feelings.
Yeah, because you got one. And if you don't mind, Alex, I would like to just plug some events.
Yeah, go ahead. What we got going on?
So we just opened up the tap room again. We're actually at 50. We're at 50% capacity right now, so that's about 100 people. And this past week was our first actual normal hours weekend. So we were keeping count. It was about 80 to 90 people all day. So I mean, consistently all day. So that's really good. We're keeping count. Anyways, so we got our hours back. Thursday and Friday, 4 to 10 p.m. Saturday noon to 10 p.m. And then Sundays again noon to 6. But as far as that, like I said, our normal hours are back, and we have a few events coming. So for a few people that are interested, we have our trivia coming back. It'll be back June 18th, and it is actually Rick and Morty themed. So a Rick and Morty themed trivia, and then we got I believe June 21st is our Father's Day event, and we'll be having they're called Parker's Pairings here. It's basically a charcuterie, charcuterie
classic.
little sets that you can buy for your fathers or whatever.
Yeah, you have your pinky up while you're eating it.
Exactly. You got to have that pinky up. And then I believe June 27th, we're having a pride party. It'll be our first time actually having a pride party here at the tap room. So
that's what's up.
We're going to see how that goes. I believe we're going to have a specific beer on tap that day. We're going to have a strawberry blonde with glitter extract added. So it'll be some sparkly ass strawberry bomb.
I might have to come out for that then.
Strawberry's my favorite.
Sprinkled, gliders on there. And then other than that, dude, our hours are back to normal, and we're actually doing comedy shows every Friday, free comedy shows every Friday. It's the same guy.
Jesse Saladina, right?
Exactly. Jesse Saldana, Out of the Loop comedy shows every Friday, free.
I've been up to one of those. It was fucking awesome. Definitely go check that out. And it's awesome comedy, and you're getting to have the best beer ever and watch some comedy. What else?
True. And these guys, he's got a different lineup every week, and these guys are really funny. But other than that, like I said, our hours are back, and we got a few events, so keep your calendars marked.
Yeah. I'm going to come up there. I want to hang out with you guys soon. I haven't gotten to see you guys since this whole pandemic happened. But again, thank you guys for coming on the pod. This has been a lot of fun. Can't wait to hang out with you guys again. And I'll send you guys out with, since you guys brought us a musical guest, why don't we send you all out with Winston Cook's new one from his album, Crowd Pleaser. This is Sweet Fussy Sings the Blues that we'll send you guys out with. Southern Star BC on Twitter. Follow Angel. Go up to fucking Southern Star, 3525 North Fraser Street in Conroe. The best beer in the entire world. Thank you guys for helping fill another quarantine episode. And until I talk to you guys again, pass the gravy, you bitches.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.